You're right on point, bro. You just got to trust your instincts, man. I think you second guess yourself and
Yeah, I did.
you let the fear control your trading. Don't let fear, trust the process. Obviously, not all of them are going to work out, bro. But believe in yourself, believe in your process, believe in your TA. And when you do that and you have that conviction, that's when you are rewarded for it.
Hey, I got rewarded for that on the way down. I got a
Oh, I know, bro. You
I got a
did good.
42% on the way down.
And I've seen you in the Discord. We have hashtag wins, right? Where people
Yeah.
are posting our wins. G-Rod every day with these massive wins, like anywhere from like 50% to like 290% wins, bro. You're killing it, man. And you're doing all those in the high time frames, right? So like 1 and 5 minute charts.
I do it all on the 1 minute charts.
Yeah, so you're making those kinds of gains in a matter of what, like an hour or less?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's magnificent, bro. You're killing it.
Usually, I mean, the longest I've been in one was the other night. I was in it for, I think, 4 hours.
Look at this, what I see right here too. So let's look even more macro. Here's our channel, right? We're respecting this line, this trend up, and we're respecting this trend. Like this. Right? So let's say this does come up, cup and handle, 250. What I say earlier, 250 to $3. That's where this thing wants to go. And look it does that. Like it goes like here, and then it goes higher. So it got here, now it's gonna go higher. See the pattern?
Look, I'm hoping for that higher one. I'm hoping for that higher one and not instead of a possible triple top. I don't know.
Look it. This is what you're seeing right here is bots. Okay, look at, you see this cup and handle right here that played out?
Yep.
Okay, you're seeing another one right next to it, cup and handle play out. That's bots trading. This thing's going to 250, bro. Easy. It's literally just copy and pasting what just happened here is about to happen right here. And that's, you see a lot of that on the low time frames because it's bots running an AI algorithm, right? So the bots are actually creating its own, whatever. And then the bot is also zoomed out even more on the 30 minute.
Oz,
Look at,
I got a question when you get back to that 5 minute one.
Look at, here's your more macro, right? We're going to come up here, boom, double top, and come back down. So you're going to be able to short this thing to 159, 160 once it hits that 150 mark. That's what I would see. Now it could potentially shoot up higher first and then go, but we have an ascending wedge right here, right? So this would be more than likely what plays out right here on the 30-minute time frame. So sometime today or tomorrow, this thing will come back down to right here. So you see where the fair value gap is right here. We have the candle support right here. Boom, 161. And I would just set my sell order at like 163. At 163.5 and just make sure it fills. You know what I mean? Don't be greedy. You're going to catch all that, bro.
Yeah.
Make sure it fills. More than likely, that's what we're going to see right there. You know what? I'm going to save this. And I'm going to show you. Tomorrow, we're going to pull this up, and it's going to literally match this. Like, it's going to follow it to the T, bro.
I better be up the whole time then.
What, over the next, like 12 hours, 14 hours?
Yeah.
No, you don't have to be up. This move right here is where you get to sleep, bro. You're going to catch this right here tonight.
Yeah.
It's going to top out tonight, like 3 a.m. Boom, sleep. Wake up tomorrow, set your sell limit at that 163.5. Wake up tomorrow in profit. Do it in your sleep. That's how I do it.
So I got a question for you. Yeah. So if you zoom in on that 5 minute again.
Let me see here. All right.
So you know those sweeps that it's making, right?
Yeah. These right here.
Yeah. Have you seen I guess they're getting bigger, aren't they?
Not really. Look at, they're actually getting smaller.
So yeah, so that's...
Look, we take this over here. It's getting a little bit smaller.
Okay.
So we measure this one. Bring it right here. And that's why it's a wedge, not a... So
gotcha.
Like, expect it to hit that line 150. Or excuse me, 250. That's it right there, bro. And look, let's move this right here. That's the distance from this resistance zone to the top. It's almost a perfect measurement. See that?
Yeah.
Now it could fall short, you know. I would be taking profits at 245.5. 245, somewhere around there, right? That would be my first zone of taking profit.
If I get back up to 2, I mean, with my leverage, I mean, I only need to get to, if I get to 235, I'm up 150%. So it don't matter.
I think you're going to do more than that, bro. I think you're going to see 245 minimum. So you're going to make a nice long here. And then you're going to get a nice short. And it might do another one. It could potentially come down here like this. And then do another one. And then come down. So you might get 2 moves in here before it breaks down. And it is a smaller time frame. But it'll either break right here at 234. Once it hits 234 on the downside, you want to be watching for confirmation of a turn to the upside, or if it's going to head and shoulders, stop at 241, 240, and then come back down and have a reversal. Because if this stops right here, now you have a pattern confirmation of a break through that ascending channel, ascending wedge, right? And then obviously it doesn't move.
Possible double top at 240 then.
Exactly. Because it doesn't have to be exactly at the peak, right? It can touch lower here, and that's confirmation of a double top. Right? If it starts reversing from there, that's like, okay, we have a double top. And it'll do, you know, whatever it does. I'm gonna leave this line though, because I have a feeling it's gonna respect this. So yeah, just keep an eye on it, and like I said, watch the candles, look for candle confirmation, right? Look for that tweezer bottom, tweezer top in the candles. You're gonna see those a lot. Look for, you know, the candle patterns, and you're gonna look for confirmation with those with a pattern. So you're going to look at the micro pattern and the macro pattern. Our macro pattern is this ascending channel, which is bearish, which means that more than likely it wants to break down into a double top here in the 30 minute, like that. That's what it wants. All right.
Okay.
So be looking at the candles. Right? Remember, any pattern that you see needs candle confirmation. You need to have that candle confirmation, and then you need micro pattern and macro pattern confirmation. And then at that point, it's plug and play. It's pretty much, it's going to happen. Obviously, because crypto is manipulated, because it's such a low market cap and low liquidity supply, that can change. But 9 times out of 10, if you have all those signals line up, you're going to do all right. You're not going to catch every single one is going to be perfect, but 80-90%, you're going to be right on point. And that's all we need, right, to be profitable is 80-90%.
Yeah. Yeah, because it just formed another inverted head and shoulders on the 5 minute.
Let's look at it. Remember that 5 minute is a lot of noise, bro. Yeah, I'd say that's more of a tombstone than an inverted head and shoulders, which is still to the ups.
So if I just look at it from a half hour earlier, or like maybe an hour earlier,
like this right here, it's going to copy and paste this. This whole move from here to here, it's probably going to copy and paste that up here, just a little bit smaller, you know, less of a dramatic move.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Okay.
But look at this cup and handle. And you see how this cup and handle, look how far down it went. You would have thought, oh, that handle is no good, right? And look, it even had this little bull flag it made right here, right? You would look at this and say, oh, this is invalidated. If it had dropped any lower than this, it would have been invalidated. And really, it would have been like down here. If it would have dropped below 218, it would have been invalidated. But that's because of the time frame we're looking at. We zoom out to the 30 minute with less noise. That looks like a solid cup and handle. Solid cup and handle. Textbook.
Gotcha.
And
so your handle could come down all the way to the bottom, touch
50%,
the inside.
50%. All right. So look at from here to here. That's about the most you want to see. So that's about 50%. You know, that's the middle of the cup right here, right? That's about right. And that's even actually lower, right? See how where the candles are right here, the wicks, here to here. That's a perfect move.
Okay,
That's
so
textbook.
So Oz, what does it mean when the right side of the cup is higher than the left side?
It's just a tilted cup. That's all. You got to remember, bro, these patterns. Is this the XRP chart? No, this is render. We're going to do XRP in just a second. So bear with me. I'll take a look at it for you. The patterns are never perfect, right? The double top is never exactly. They fluctuate a little bit. You got to almost blur your eyes when you look at the chart, right?
Gotcha.
And be less structured on everything and just try to see what's there.
Okay.
What are we doing? We're doing a little bit of TA lesson right here. I'm teaching you all a free lesson in technical analysis. Or you can just follow me and watch the show and I'll do free A for you. And you can copy my homework in the words of Crypto Rap. TA doesn't work. G-Rod, does TA work?
Hey, let him eat that candy that he's eating.
Yeah, I know, right? Go drink your own Kool-Aid, bro.
Yeah.
Dude.
This man's TA has closed me 200+% trades every day consistently.
Thank you, bro.
This guy knows what he's talking about.
I don't know. I have a gift, man. I think my brain.
He's the man with the crystal ball.
Yeah. The problem with the crystal ball is if you make me rub it too much, it gets foggy. You got to let it cool down a little bit, you know? You can't rub the crystal ball too much. Look we're respecting this line right here. Already in the 30 minute, we're climbing here. This is beautiful. This is what we want to see. I'll even tell you what time we top her out. 1900 hours UTC time. somewhere around there. What time is that? What's up, Elon Muff? How you doing, bro? You know, let's bring Elon Muff up here. I see
UTC time, you said?
What's that?
You said UTC?
UTC, Universal Time. Let's I want to talk to Elon Muff because my boy is educated. Elon Muff is very educated, knows what he's talking about a few things. But I do want to oh, he ran away. Can't right now. Oh, no worries, man. We're gonna have to do it again. I want to talk to you, bro, because I heard you. I forget whose live it was on. You were on, and you were talking about some things, man. And I was just like, I want to hear more about this. It was along the XRP lines. And by the way, check this out. Project XPX just came out like 12 or 18 months ago, something like that. Maybe it's like 19 months now. New project. It's a way for you to spend XRP with a card, like money. It's pretty goated. All right, somebody wanted to look at XRP. Here's my XRP analysis for you. I think we're coming back here to the 180 zone, possibly 175, 177. So what's up, G-Rod? What are you thinking on render?
What am I thinking on render?
Yeah.
Hey, if it double tops at 240, I'm good.
Honestly, I don't even think 240. Let me see, it was like the 1 hour. It's gonna go higher than 240. Honestly, I think 250 is the lowest that it would get that double top. Honestly, I think it does like 255 to $3. It could definitely go over. Remember how I said zoom out, right?
But we're gonna pull back before then.
Look at the daily, right? The same lines I drew, right? Shows a double top on the daily, bringing it down to fill this fair value gap of 159 to 136. So that's a nice short, bro, from 150. Let's just say 150, right? So a short from 150 to 137.
No, you're talking 250.
Oh, excuse me, 250 to 137, bro. That's a nice short.
250 to 137.
That's what, like 300, 400% almost. Leverage.
Hang on. I'm going to tell you right now. No, it's more than that. It's got to be more than that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Especially with the leverage I do.
Yo, what's up, Crypto Rap? Hey, thank you for the heart, me guys. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. Follow me on all platforms at Oz the Crypto Goat. All lower cases, no spaces. We've got Crypto Rap, Oscar, Elon Muff, Revolution, G-Rod. We've got Francesca, all with gifts. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. Appreciate you. Rap, you want to come up for a minute? You want to tell them why not? Tell the chat about why not. If you got a second. If not, I get it, bro. Like, no worries, bro. You're always welcome up on the panel. I slept on a 500X for 2 weeks and rode up 35% on a 500X leverage, bro.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Bro, I thought I was risky with XRP on a 50X.
Dude. Hey, that's what I was telling Josh, though. When it comes to the leverage trading, you'll start with 5, 10, 20X leverage. Before you know it, like, you're in 500X, 1,000X. And then that's when you get stopped out on like a 1,000X trade, like instantaneously. And you're like, what have I been doing with my life? And that's when you question all your life's choices.
Elon, I want to hear about this.
I know. I want to hear it too. What's up, bro?
It was in January of 25. I had a chunk of leverage, and I mean, I think I ended up running under like about 8,000. I was about negative 8,000 at one point, and as it was going down, I was like, it can't go down anymore, and I just kept buying my position larger and larger, and it kept going down, and I was like, oh man, and then it reversed and started going the other way, and it just kept on trucking, man, and I ran up about 35% times 500x. So
Damn.
it was pretty nice.
If you don't mind me asking, what was your margin?
I got down to where I could have dropped maybe 4 or 5% more, and I'd have been done and lost my rear end. A 4 or 5% drop would have killed me.
Are you running a tight stop loss, or are you running a broad stop loss?
I'm running like a wild man. I'll just put it that way.
That's
my whole margin.
No stop losses, bro. Take it all.
Yeah.
All or nothing, baby.
I mean, I'll tell you this much. I set an alarm every 30 minutes, so I'd wake up all night long so I could check my backs.
Bro, I've been there, man. Dude, last year I was averaging 1 to 4 hours of sleep a night because I was like rage trading like crazy. Like I paid for all this equipment and this whole studio and everything all just from trading last year. And
I was doing another thing. It was like I would chart and think I'd find the bottom, and I'd say, okay, I got like $300. I'm gonna take 3 shots. I would put nothing else in my margin or nothing. I'd take $100 and put it on a 200x, and I was like, I got about 0.5% to lose, and that's it. And I'd just be like, just go in the casino and just slap 100 in and hit bet one time and see if I make it. And if I get wiped out and it chases me down, I do it stick another 100 in on a 200x and buy it. And I fell asleep on one of those before. I thought I got licked and I didn't. I shut my MEC off, and I was like mad and went to sleep. Next day, went to work all day long. And the next evening I hopped on and I was on Bonk when Bonk ran, and on a 200x, I ran up a 2x. I ran up over 100% on a 200x before. And that one was a really, really nice one with a $79 buy times 200x. I mean, it was, so you can just imagine. And then it literally ran up over 100%, and I had no idea. I checked it, and it was like a bunch of zeros. I was like, what?
Is this real?
Yeah, sometimes you get lucky. When, it's just like, when you're playing in the casino, yeah, you're going to win once in a while, but usually the house wins when you're playing like a casino. There's actually a pyramid, and it's in my Discord. Elon, I think you're in the Discord. I think it's in the crypto section. There's a pyramid of the progression of what level you've reached as a trader. And like the first level is like the online casino gambler. Like that's like the lowest level.
Yeah. It's I've got probably 200 or 300 at least 50 to 75 X's that I've done.
Virtual Streamer says, can you look at Vondra? Vondra, is this the chart right here? Is this the one? They launched this week. I'll tell you this right now. If it just launched this week, there's not going to be much TA available. This one says it was March 2022.
Here, I got one for you, TA, bro. Here, I'm going to give you something first.
All right. Is this the one, though? Is this the chart? Virtual streamers? Is this the right one? Elon Muff, thank you for the money gun, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Metal blockchain. Dude, I gotta look into Metallicus. We were looking at Metallicus yesterday. That looked promising.
I want to find out more about that, Oz.
Yeah, dude.
I have it wrote down. I wasn't able to dig into it today.
It's pretty interesting. Its actual use case when you look into it, and the proofs in the pudding. The more you dive into it, the more you realize the links, what it does. It's legit.
Yeah, it looks legit. Honestly, it looks more promising than XRP from what I've heard. No, I haven't deep dove into it.
Well, when you chase its use case down and realize, I believe the market cap's it's under 100 million. I know that.
Yeah, low market cap is going to be more reward, right? That's why we're here, right? We don't want to risk, not risk, but like playing blue chips in crypto, right? We're here for volatility, right? So chasing the new shiny thing, I know it seems stupid in the big picture because we're talking about adoption and everything happening right now, but I don't believe adoption is happening right now, but it's a long, lengthy process over time. So I think right now chasing the new shiny thing is what's going to be most lucrative in the meantime. That sentiment will change, but for now, that's where I'm at with it.
See, I have plays that, I'm invested in based on actual research. And then I have other plays that's been mathematical plays. Like I throw $100 at the floor of tons and tons of $3,000 to $5,000 market cap coins. I rode one from 3,300 to $9.8 million in 3 days one time, and I had only sold 1% of it on the way up, and I still had 4%.
Yeah, I'm looking for not necessarily meme coin status low cap, but utility low cap, right? And something that's got some narrative and not too new, but new-ish, that just isn't really doing much. Like Polygon, man. Polygon's like taking off right now. Everyone's talking about Polygon. Man, for the last 8 months, I've been saying, hey guys, Polygon's a sleeper. Find the bottom on this one and get in. It's going to do something big. And here we are. I'm always just shooting early. Let me do a little bit of TA here real quick for this guy. So it looks like we're going to come up right here to about like 159, 158-ish. 157.5 seems about right on this one. Obviously, that's a long-term goal. That could not happen till like April for this one. And, selling may go away, would send it back down. And that would be it. I've never understood what the caps mean and the volume of it. So the volume is the amount of tokens in supply, and the cap is the market cap, the amount of liquidity in the project. So that's like tokenomics. Sorry, man, didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Nope, nothing.
Nope. As far as tokenomics go, Quant is my most bullish on tokenomics.
Yeah, low liquidity, or not low liquidity, but low market cap, low coin supply. Yeah,
and like 99% circulating, and it goes deflationary, and the use case is massive.
And it's RWA, if I'm correct, right? Or am I wrong?
Quant is like. It makes all blockchains interoperable, and also another thing as well, when you get wrapped coins, those smart contracts, there's always flaws inside of those that makes projects just die. There's no need for a wrapped coin with quant. They make them all intermingle without wrapping and creating smart contracts that have flaws inside of them.
Yeah, it's like in direct competition with Link. Yeah.
Actually, it's really not a direct competition. They both have two different use cases. Like if you was to just pull up a AI and say, hey, what's the difference in use cases between the two? One is DeFi, and well, it's not totally DeFi, but they have different use cases is the best way to put it. You'd have to just type that in and go search that real quick.
Interesting. Honestly, I think for now, stable coins, man. Everything's going to be focused around stable coins. That's the play right now. And man, I kind of want to just pull this up. Let's just watch it real quick. And I'll show you why. Where is it? Oh, this must be right here. Yeah, here it is. Check this guy out. Now, I mean, I've been saying this for a while, but this guy explains it better than I ever could.
The shadow government is exploiting a crypto backdoor to erase the $35 trillion worth of government debt. They just got exposed for cloning your money to pull this off. It all started when the Genius Act got written into law, allowing banks to create stablecoins. See, everybody thought it was just about crypto, but they didn't realize that there's actually government debt tokenized right now on the blockchain as well. So tokenization just means that you could take any asset or liability and turn it into an actual token. So right now what they did is they took the government debt and they made a token version of it. Tokenization of all assets. And you guessed it, BlackRock is the biggest issuer of this tokenized debt. When you combine it with the fact that banks can now create stablecoins legally out of thin air, it gets a little out of control. So this is how the current banking system works. A regular person just deposits money in a bank, and the bank is legally allowed to loan that entire balance out to anybody they want for car loans, house loans, whatever. And the person that takes the loan has to pay the bank back a yield. So the bank profits off of your money. In other words, they give you the innovation of a debit card, and they give you security by insuring your money. So they're allowed to loan it out to as many people as they want. And now they have this innovation, which is stablecoin issuance. If you take your real money, right, and you put it through a product like Tether, Tether takes that real money and actually invests it into government debt. Tether is able to profit off of buying government debt, and you get the stablecoin version to be able to use in crypto for DeFi or whatever you want. And it all starts to come together with this last element of tokenized debt. Remember when I told you that the stablecoin, you could use it for DeFi? Well, there's a lot of people that are taking that stablecoin money, and you guessed it, putting it right back into government debt. Here's the proof. There's close to $8 billion being currently invested through tokenized government debt. So you have stablecoin issuers like Tether and all these banks that are about to create stablecoins, putting that money into government debt, and then you have the same people that got the stablecoins putting money into government debt. It's duplicating the money and it's flowing back into government debt. This is insane. The Federal Reserve controls money in the United States. They get to pick the cost of interest rates, which is the cost of borrowing money. When we have a high cost of borrowing money, what happens is banks have to give out expensive loans. So if loans are expensive, nobody wants to take out a loan, right? But if loans are cheap because the Federal Reserve lowers interest rates, then we have a lot more people taking out a lot more loans. See, when people take out a lot of loans, that's a lot of new liquidity in the system, and we see asset prices like crypto and stocks go up a lot. So obviously, as an investor, this is like the most important thing and what I've been screaming from the top of my lungs for a long time. Interest rates are dropping, but not only that, this stablecoin duplication hack is also injecting a whole bunch of liquidity. Let me show you. The Bank for International Settlements literally wrote a paper on how crazy this stablecoin liquidity is for government debt. And they came to a conclusion that just through stablecoins buying debt, this is equivalent to the Federal Reserve dropping interest rates by 2 to 2.5 basis points within 10 days. If we have just 10 more tethers, we'll have literally a quarter basis point cut, which is equivalent to Jerome Powell dropping interest rates at the end of this month, which he is doing. So he's dropping interest rates, and we have all these new banks issuing stablecoins that could potentially drive more liquidity, very similar to Jerome Powell dropping interest rates. And see, there's just one problem with this paper here. They didn't consider, again, tokenized debt, which I just told you $8 billion is being purchased by random people in DeFi right now. So just to put it in context for you, this new system is cracked. They have this duplication weird thing in cryptocurrency with stablecoins, banks, and tokenized debt that actually does have a significant role in injecting liquidity into risk-on assets, aka the market's gonna pump. The elite are putting money in weird ways we have never seen before in the market. The shadow.
All right, there it is. Have you guys seen that video yet? Has anybody seen it before? Understand what's going on here? This is how they're erasing the debt, and they're lowering, basically changing the yield curve. No one.
No, I did it.
Yeah,
Sorry, you was cutting out. What now?
but they're basically fixing the yield curve with stable coins.
Yeah. So another thing is, so like, let's say the government, when they go to pay their employees, they could create a stable coin and buy a bond, and that bond goes towards the debt, and they're paying out. So when they paid their employee, they're actually taking away the debt and creating a stable coin with it in a short-term bond.
Yeah, and it seems like it's the play. Stable coins seems to be the push. The question is what is the use for a native token? Because obviously, like, yeah, we're going to need facilitation and transfer, gas fees, things like that, right? Paying of fees for transferring from one stable coin to another, right? But are we getting played with this native token idea? Because like to me, like let's talk about adoption, right? Adoption, real world use case. Do you want to get paid in XRP when it's at $4 or $5 and it's about to come down to $1?
You wouldn't be paid in XRP. You would be paid in RLUSD, which is pegged at $1.
Exactly. So it seems like stable coins is the play. XRP kind of runs in the background, right? But it doesn't.
Yeah, because you're going to see like how there's RLUSD. So basically, in the background, like a dollar bill that you have in your hand, that's a tokenized version of liquidity. That dollar's not. You can't use that dollar to actually create a dollar. It's not gold. It's just tokenizing the value of money that used to be. Well, it used to be gold back, so it used to be a token of a piece of gold sitting inside of the reserve.
So XRP is the liquidity pool to facilitate the fast transaction.
Correct. So let's say, for example, you need to pay someone in China, and you're going to see this in the future. You're going to see RL Yuan, RL Peso, RL Ruble, and you need to send them value. When you send them RLUSD, it goes through XRP and comes out the other side as a RL Yuan. But the actual stable coin that you're holding doesn't actually have any value. The liquidity, it represents a dollar or it represents a yuan, but the liquidity is actually inside of XRP, and that's why they call it liquid.
Right. So let's say that's adoption. We can agree that that's probably how this is all going to work, right? Obviously, we're still kind of speculating it. They could come out with new technology tomorrow that just underwrites everything we're about to say. But speculating that that's what's going to happen, that's the play right now, right? How does that affect the price of XRP, right? So,
I think it locks it up.
Yeah, that's what I think. Even if $2 quadrillion is flowing through XRP, it doesn't really affect the price because it's in and it's out of it like instantaneously.
Not so. If you're sitting there holding a RLUSD in your wallet and you have $1 million worth of RLUSD, the liquidity isn't the RLUSD. You're just holding a token that represents that liquidity, and the liquidity is in XRP.
Right. But XRP is getting its value from the people that hold XRP and keep their liquidity in it. And that liquidity
or the stable coin.
Right. And then whatever we're holding in XRP, that liquidity is what's facilitating the transfers and why it moves so quickly, because it's an intermedium between that transfer, right? So it doesn't really matter how many transactions, how fast, burn rate, anything. That's not what affects price with XRP. What affects the price is who's willing to buy it at what price and how long they're willing to hold it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too, is like that day, I believe it was October 10th, and the market cap of XRP dropped $30 or $40 billion. They said that there was actually only $1 or $2 billion worth of outflow that caused that $30 or $40 billion drop. So it also has to do with the velocity. So I don't know if you've ever watched the video, maybe like Zach Rector's Market Cap Multiplier video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's always really interesting because there's been many a times, because if you actually watch the inflow, they said that like $200 or $300 million worth of inflow comes in, but the market cap rises 10 or 12 billion dollars.
Yeah. There's no proof of a multiplier though, and there's no mathing in it. So yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's not real, bro.
Well, I mean, I got you. It's just like, for example, I've launched coins myself, okay? I've launched a meme coin, and I bought $1,000 worth at the floor, and the market cap shot up to $15,000. And then I add another $200, and it goes from $15,000 to $19,000. It's the same with every other coin if you ever watch the inflows, because you can watch the inflows by watching the actual liquidity flows and buys. Those can be tracked.
Someone help me out here, because someone chime in, because I'm just not buying it. Like I've looked into the market cap multiplier, and what I've found is it's a pipe dream. So like give me some kind of valid evidence, because I've had a lot of people come on the show. And I'm like, show it to me in black and white. Show me the math, right? Prove it to me. And I will scream it to high heaven. But so far, no one's been able to actually bring anything to me that's tangible. Like, we can all say and talk and speculate. But, dude, if you can give me something valid that I can look into, I'll jump on board with you, man. I want to believe. I tell people this all the time. I want to believe it because that means we're making money, right? We want to make money. That's why we're here, right? So, like, show it to me on paper, bro. Like, and I'll scream it to high heaven. But no one's been
I've
able
done
to
all kinds of
produce
testing before. So I literally coded a coin before, and I stuck 90% of it in a wallet. Or actually, I stuck 99% of it in a wallet. I put 1% on the exchange, and I spent a few $100s on that coin from absolutely nothing, and ran the market cap up to $600,000 with only $500 worth of liquidity.
Yeah, that's possible.
Wait, is someone else talking? Was that you, Black? We can barely hear you, bro.
Hear me? Hear me now?
Barely. Your volume might be down, because I got all your guys' volume up. But to what G-Rod was saying on Render, he's like, Render's dropping. It's good, bro. Look at, it's respecting the trend line, and we're wicking up here. So just calm down. Hold on to your britches, bro. We're going up.
Get the 500X going.
Can you hear me now?
Trust the process, bro. Trust the TA. It's never going to work out perfectly. It's not going to do exactly as I say, but it is going to move that direction. All right? You good, bro? Do you need me to talk you down some more? Trust the process, bro.
I just watched this back.
I know it's scary, bro, but like, look, that's
So
just a
one way
liquidity
to-
sweep.
One way to do this, go check this out. Go open up Fartcoin in Coin Market Cap and look at the market cap of it, and then go look at the liquidity. So when the market cap of Fartcoin was $1 billion, there was roughly like $4 or $5 million worth of actual liquidity in it.
Facts.
That means if one person sold $1 million, that coin would drop 20%. So it goes both ways. So it goes going down and it goes going up. So there's your market cap multiplier just right there. The proof's in the pudding. If you're sitting there at a $1 billion market cap and there's only $10 million in liquidity, and Bob comes in and buys $1 million worth of the coin, the market cap's not going to go to one. It's not going to go up
But isn't that the purpose of why Ripple holds, 44% of the 42% of the supply is to keep that from happening, and that's why they release it?
But here's the kicker of that though. Those are not circulating coins though. Those coins are not circulating. They're not counting. They're not holding the stability of the project. I've been in projects before, like meme coin project. I know this doesn't where the liquidity is really low. Okay, like I told you before, I spent $300 and bought 6% of a project one time, and at $3,500 market cap, and that coin ran to almost $10 million. Okay, my wallet was $700,000. I tried to hit, I was not going to do it, but I went to go hit sell, and I was only going to be able to extract $65,000 to $70,000 out of that project, even though it's because the liquidity was not there. Now, my $65,000 sell would have took that project from a $9 million market cap all the way down to a $4 or $5 million market cap, because the liquidity, like if the coin has 1% liquidity, the market cap is like 100x, like the market cap multiplier is like 100x. If you got 50% liquidity and you have 1% of the coin and you sell 1% of the coin, that 1% is going to probably drop that project, because according to you, if there was no market cap multiplier, if I sold 1% of the value of the whole coin, then the coin would only drop 1%. But since there is a market cap multiplier, if it's a $10 million project and I sell $1 million, like that coin's going to zero, because there ain't even $1 million worth of liquidity. You can see that all day on these projects. And it does the same thing going the opposite way.
But
so
isn't it also the higher the market cap is, the less that fluctuates?
No, not necessarily. It matters on the liquidity rate. So if you look at a project and it has $1 billion market cap, but it's got $500 million in liquidity, then you literally got half. It's literally 50% liquidity. If somebody come along and they sold $1 million of a $100 million project,
it's nothing.
And it had a $50 million. It had a $50 million worth of liquidity. That $1 million isn't going to drop that thing but 3 or 4%. But if the liquidity rate is only 1 or 2% on a $100 million project, and there's only $2 million worth of liquidity, you got to realize that liquidity is not even, if it says there's $2 million worth of liquidity on a $100 million project, that there's actually not even $2 million worth of liquidity, because there's $2 million worth of liquidity in that pair. So if it's Solana / poo-poo in you, there's $1 million worth of poo-poo in you, and there's $1 million worth of Solana. It's half and half. Those liquidity pairs represent half of that liquidity. So if a market cap is $100 million and it only has $1 million worth of liquidity, or $2 million, if I'm just going to go ahead and say $2 million worth of liquidity, if somebody tried to sell $1 million, they'd send that coin into they'd bury it.
Right.
And they probably wouldn't even extract $400,000 or $500,000, and before they could even sell it and get out of it, they'd lose 70% of the value of their bag.
So let's say that that's true. All right. Then how does XRP get this massive multiple X multiplier happen to it? Where's the
okay? So that's like for
from?
the examples. If you watch the videos,
coming from?
Okay, so let's say everybody, like on the news, all of a sudden somebody starts talking about XRP, and everybody and their dog starts buying. The velocity of people buying is so much more than the velocity of the people selling. So you could literally, and I've seen it happen so many times, somebody says something about XRP, 7, 8, 10, $20 million worth of inflows happen in a day or two, or in half a day, and the market cap's not going up 10, 20, 40, 50 million. It's going up 10 or 15 billion.
But this is the issue, though, is the inflows are outflowing instantaneously. So the money's not sitting in there long enough to do anything.
Well, it depends on the velocity, because if hardly anyone's selling, but everybody's buying, if there's a small percent of, because that's what usually happens. It goes down and it goes down, and the bears finally give up and they quit selling. Like no one's like, okay, like you finally get to the people that are like, I'm holding, I'm not selling, and there's no one left to sell. There's not very many people selling, and then all of a sudden people's like, hey, it's the bottom. Well, those sellers ain't selling no more. So now as everybody starts to buy, and then it starts to move, and all those people that sold and sold and sold are like, oh, I better hurry up and buy. And then you've got more buyers, way more buyers than you got sellers. And then you got, like I said, you get 10, 20, 30, $40 million worth of inflows coming in a matter of 4 or 5 hours. The market cap's not going up 10, 12, 20 million. That's like a penny. Like $50 million is like 3 or 4 cents to XRP. That's it, 2 cents. But that's if it was 1-to-1, but it's not 1-to-1. If you see a 20 or $30 million inflow in XRP in 20 or 30 minutes, you're going to watch the market cap rise 10 billion, 5 billion. You're going to watch that coin jump up 15, 20 cents in a matter of 6 hours or so.
Okay, so let's just for instance, because I'm trying to entertain your idea here. So let's say that happens. People start, it hits the bottom, it has nowhere to go but up. People start FOMOing into it, and then now institutions are putting money through it. All right. The money going through it is not what's affecting the price. You already agreed with me earlier on that.
Yeah, like if I send you, for example, like if I know your wallet address and I send you $100 million worth of XRP, that's not going to affect the price of XRP at all. It's not going to do nothing for it.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Even a quadrillion dollars isn't what's going to affect
it. Doesn't matter what I send you. It's not going to do nothing for it because it has to be on the exchange. So that's what's going on with all the institutions. Okay. If you go and you hunt down, they call them dark pools. So what they're doing,
dark pools are. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're buying from dark pools. That's why when the price goes down. So what they're doing is they go in on these exchanges. They put in buy orders down low, like 75 cents lower than it is right now, and then the market makers go hunt down that liquidity, and then when they get down there, that's when they start buying. If they're not buying from dark pools, because they have the money to drag it down there, because that's the market makers always going to chase the money. Like they're always going to go after the money every time.
Let's just say you're right.
Have you ever watched? There's a video called.
I know what I'm trying. This is my point. Is where's that liquidity coming from? That's creating this FOMO and whatever. Because pretty much XRP is topped. The people that are buying it are buying it. That's it. Maybe down the road, another 10% of the world's population will start to get into crypto in a decade or two. So
I don't think so. I mean, honestly, I honestly feel like it's coming. I feel like it's just going to be a matter of time that Granny's going to pull up to the gas station. She's going to swipe her card. She has no idea what crypto is, and in the background, there's instantaneous settlement inside of the banks. Instead of the gas station having to batch all of the receipts at the end of the day to save themselves for money, they're going to get instantaneous settlement as soon as she swipes her card, and she's not going to know nothing that's going on in the background, and it's going to be the banks that are using blockchain to make instantaneous settlement. That's how I feel this is going to end up.
Granny is not going to be using XRP. I'll tell you that.
No, Granny's going to swipe her card, her regular card.
Hold on. Yeah, you're just repeating yourself now. Just hold on. Granny is not going to be using this technology. They are going to, first of all, the people of that time frame, that era, the boomers, grandma, grandpa, all that, they are very anti digital currency. Okay,
absolutely.
99% of them think it's a scam, or they think
you misread me, bro. I think you misread me. Here's the kicker: she's gonna swipe her card, and she is going to use the money that's in her account, and she's not really realizing that the money in her account is actually a stable coin. And when she swipes her card, the rails in the background are going to be instantaneously settling her transaction. She don't like crypto, but it don't make a dang difference, because when she swipes her card, whether she knows it or not, that's what's going to be settling the transactions in the background when the banks are using it.
But why would Granny be using XRP if it's for institutions?
That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say, is she's not actually, into her head, she thinks she's just paying $13 for a gallon for gas. She's just swiping her card and spending the money in her bank account. That's all she's doing. But when she does that, unknowings to her and unknowings to all these other 95% of the people out there that you're speaking about, they're not going to realize that their transactions are no longer being settled on a SWIFT system that takes 1%, 2%, 3% of the transaction fee, and they can't settle it during only business hours. They got to settle it the next morning. They're not going to get paid the next day. What's going to happen is, in the background, unknowings to 99% of the people out there, they're going to swipe their card. They're going to get instantaneous settlement. You're going to go to Walmart. You're going to swipe your card. You're going to buy a set of overalls, and the money's going to come instantaneously off your card and go instantaneously into their account via blockchain in the background.
All right. My turn. All right. Now, this is entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. Do I believe this? Possibly. And I kind of lean this direction, but it's also mildly like, let's just entertain this thought for a minute. Let's be open-minded, right? Right now, I can use PayPal. I can send money to my PayPal account where the liquidity sits, right? And if I transact with somebody from PayPal to PayPal anywhere in the world, I can transfer them money instantaneously right now.
Correct, PayPal. You can, but here's the thing: I have to trust PayPal, and you have to trust.
I'm just saying, like, what's
exactly?
The
point, I can tell you that right now. I trust PayPal, and you trust PayPal to be an intermediary between you and I. That means I've got my money on PayPal, so I trust PayPal. You've got money on PayPal, so you trust PayPal. The PayPal is actually hosting as an intermediary between those two. What's going to happen when Bank A in Arkansas needs to send Bank B in Canada $2 million? You think they're going to trust PayPal? You got to go on blockchain where there is no intermediary.
So I have bought through PayPal, okay, from people who are in Canada, Australia, UK, different items, and paid through PayPal instantaneously, because PayPal is one whole network. It doesn't matter that there's borders or transfers or whatever. PayPal is the intermediary. There were no fees at all. Instantaneous transaction. So I'm just saying, is what is the point? What do we need native tokens for and cryptocurrency and all this stuff for if we're basically already having it? Basically what I'm trying to say is, I think adoption already happened. I think we're already using digital currency, and we're seeing, and it's operating in the background without us knowing it. That's what I believe adoption is when people are using crypto and they don't even know it. I think that's what we've been
using a form of digital currency, but the thing is that you can't actually transfer value between point A and point B and make it disappear off the computer system. That's the issue. A bank in Oklahoma can't send $10 million to a bank in Arkansas without there being some intermediary that is settling that transaction. You may trust PayPal.
PayPal literally does that, where
that takes two people trusting an intermediary. That's what's wrong with the SWIFT system right now.
That's the same thing as two people trusting XRP, two different banks trusting Ripple, right?
Okay, let's just
same thing.
Please hear me out for just 1 second.
I'm listening.
Okay, so I got $100 million and I need to buy 30,000 barrels of oil to China. Okay, when that transaction happens, okay, you got Nostro Vostro accounts, you've got intermediaries like JP Morgan and all these handling your transactions at 3% and 4%. The actual settlement time on those things are multiple days long. Okay, it costs them like just for example, if I want to send $1 million to China today, there's a 3% fee to swap from US dollars to yuan, and it takes like 3 to 5 days for the transaction to settle. Don't you think an institution would want to settle that in 3 to 5 seconds for a quarter or 25 cents or less?
Well, hear me out, and then I'm going to address the chat. So PayPal does it for free, no cost whatsoever, and it's instantaneous, within a second. So it's faster. But I want to look at this. So right here it says, I stopped using PayPal when they seized the money that was donated to the truckers' strike in Canada. Totally get that.
That's another reason right there, is because your money's regulated and they can control it.
I agree. However, are you really naive enough to think that is the direction they're headed with crypto, is to give us freedom or control? They're headed towards control. And with the Clarity Act, the way it's written right now, it is the foundation of moving towards control. Unless we can take it to the Senate and have it rewritten. Now, the Boozman-Booker draft has been written, okay? And if we can add that to the Clarity Act, now we're talking about having some security for the investors and not the institution. The way the Clarity Act is written right now, it takes all security away from the investor and the consumer and puts all the security on to the institution, right? Which
Correct.
is basically the system we have now, where the banks can fuck up and do whatever they want, and then we bail them out. Okay?
Yeah, and this is basically programmable money. That's the thing. Like, for example, if you got $1 million quant in your cold wallet, the government can't come and take it. Now, if it's on an exchange, they can. If you want to send it to someone else, you can, and they can't stop you. But if you have programmable money, that programmable money can be built on top of that blockchain, and then from there it can be regulated. You could tell all the people in China, you can have only up to $10,000. You can't ever save over $10,000, and you can't spend any money outside of your county in your state. That you cannot spend it past there. And if you try to spend money outside of that county, you can't. Whereas XRP, you can't. But here's the kicker: you can build that currency on top of the blockchain XRP. You can build it on top of the APIs inside of the Quant network. Somebody can send Quant and no one can stop them. Somebody can send XRP and no one can stop them. But if you build programmable money on top of those blockchains inherently with the smart contracts together, at that point you can say this wallet cannot hold more than 1,000 XRP, or I'm sorry, $1,000 worth of RLUSD or $1,000 worth of any other currency, and it can't make any transactions over $10,000. And if it ever gets over this much amount, you can't ever get over $10,000 in a wallet.
All right.
In other words, if you have 9,500, yeah, go ahead.
All right. So the Bank Security Act, BSA, now changes here in 2026. They pushed it out like a month or two, but it's supposed to be enacted. It's been in act since 1970. Ripple is applying to be a bank, and cryptocurrency falls under the BSA Act, okay? Which means that any transaction over $600 can be monitored and controlled by the U.S. government. So what about crypto tells you that you are going to have full control and they're not going to be able to stop you, and there's anything different than what PayPal's doing? It's the same thing with different letters and names, bro. Nothing's different.
Okay, it's like one way to look at it is, imagine you investing into PayPal a long time ago when PayPal wasn't worth anything, and now your bags are worth a ton. And, like people that are on top that are actually inside transferring money across can only send up to $800 at a time. I don't even know what the rules are, to be honest with you. But that's the thing, is the technology is built on top of the blockchain. The base version of that blockchain, nobody can stop you. There is nothing that they can do ever in the future that's going to stop me from sending someone $1 million worth of XRP. Now, if they build...
Oh, yes, they will. I guarantee you right now,
So you're telling you right now that they can go inside of people's wallets and that they can just take millions of dollars
Not
when you're
yet.
not on an exchange?
Not yet.
Now,
But
they're going to have the only way that they would ever,
hold on.
the only way they'd ever be able to do that
Don't make
is
me rug you, bro. Just listen to me for a second, okay? Right now, that's not the case. But we are marching in lockstep in that direction, all in the name of pumping our bags right now, is what I'm trying to say. That's the goal. If you think that crypto was originally invented to be about decentralization and control of our own finances and without regulation, but we are marching in lockstep towards regulation, institutional control, government regulation. Okay? It's a slippery slope. Once you start going, the idea was that we were supposed to regulate ourselves and our own finances without anybody coming in to give clarity because we want institutions in on this so that we can pump our bags. No, the idea was to keep the institutions out of it, to keep the government out of it so that we could manage our own money where no one could touch it. But we are marching towards, now, obviously right now, if you got something, whatever, it's pretty much safe. That's going to go out the window soon. And if we continue on the path that we're headed now, say goodbye to decentralization, say goodbye to control of our finances, say goodbye to all of it. It'll be full control, cashless society, and that'll be it. They'll literally tell you what you can spend your money on, where you can spend it, and for when and however and how long, and they may even potentially make it to where you're capped at how much at what time.
I agree. And that's going to be built on that blockchain. Like that is literally what programmable money like Quant Network being used to tokenize the sterling deposits inside of European countries and all of that. You can build a currency system on top of that blockchain, and you can regulate that stable coin and say Bob can't have more than $10,000 in a wallet. Bob can't spend that money outside of his zone. If he leaves the state without permission, he can't spend this money. We're going to lock his account up. He can't do anything. So now here you got a guy that can't send anything out of these wallets. Now, these wallets aren't cold wallets. These wallets are government wallets that they have full control of. These are not you have your own keys, your own crypto. We're talking like a bank. Your money's in the bank, it ain't your money. You don't pay your child support, they're going to come take it. You don't do this, they're going to come do that. You don't pay your child support and you have $100 million worth of crypto on a cold wallet, unless they got a quantum computer and 750,000 years to hack your account, they're never going to get that money, and you can die with it in there. There ain't nothing they can do about it.
As of right now, what they'll have is I'm
going to fire up a quantum computer to take your money.
No, what they'll do is like here in California, if you have a wallet that's inactive for 2 or 3 years, the state seizes those funds
on a exchange. That's
right.
Not a wallet. That's not even a wallet. The thing is all of that
too, bro. If you have a wallet inactive, they can seize those funds. I
promise you no. I promise you no.
Cold wallet, you can't hack cold wallets off chain.
As far as my concern is that they can seize that wallet. And so if you are a bad actor and you're in trouble, they'll just lock you up for 3 years and then seize your wallet.
Okay, if the technology was out there right now for people to use quantum computing and hack SHA 256 wallets, then Bitcoin would be at zero right now because everybody and their dog would be hacking stuff. You got people like, I can't even remember the girl's name, the rapping girl that stole $500-600 million off of an exchange back in 2014, and that money's still to this day stuck off in a wallet and they can't access it. There's people, I think 13 to 18% of Bitcoin right now is inside of wallets that they can't access. Don't you think the government would be accessing those wallets? Now, if it's on an exchange, that's a different story. But unless they can, there's not even quantum computing that even exists right now that they can hack all of the crypto wallets. Like it's not even possible. Like you'd have to, like you could go right now on AI and say how hard would it be to crack a 24
Okay,
word
so
wallet, and they would literally
hold
say
on.
that it would take 500 years with the most powerful processing computer that even exists right now.
So self-custody moves assets off exchange in your own hardware software wallet where you hold the private keys. So it seems like you are correct there. It was my understanding that it was a different case. However, you know, the vision I have for the future is not tomorrow. I'm talking 20 to 50 years down the road. When quantum computing does exist, AI is running exponentially faster and is growing faster. We're going to have quantum computers that are, you know, going to be built and ran by AI within the next 10 years. And then those are going to grow exponentially faster. They say the timeline for quantum computers is, you know, 50 years, 100 years down the road. I believe that with AI technology, it's going to go faster. Everything's going to be accelerated over the next 10-year timeline because AI is now in the United States completely unregulated for the next 10 years.
We talked about this in the past, and you kind of busted my balls when I said the word Bretton Woods 3.0. And it's another one of those things that I promise you, if you go diving into it, you'll be coming back tomorrow going, well, you were right.
Well, you know, I don't begin to say I know everything, right? But I understand the big picture here is, so maybe they can't take your wallet. What they can do is they will take your freedom. They'll just lock you up if you don't give up your keys. They'll put you in front of the wall and have the firing squad come around. And they'll just lock up those tokens forever, and they hold the balance. It's just going to raise they get it one way or another.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I
So
get
another
you.
question.
What they can do is, so let's say I got $10 million worth of XRP in my wallet, and they can lock up where I bought the XRP. They can go to Uphold and say, hey, this guy used Uphold, and boop, shut my account down. And then it's like, okay, well, I'm going to use MEXC. Boop, I create an account, try to attach it to my bank. They realize what I'm doing. They shut that account down. They can stop me from the off rails of getting out of that money. But if you're over here and you got a Ferrari and I want the Ferrari, I can just send you $180,000 worth of XRP. They cannot stop that. They can't stop that.
They can take your freedom, though. They can lock you up. That's what they can do.
I mean, you can go look in the BRICS partners right now. You can chase all of the BRICS central banking system and already see the Ripple partnerships. If you chase that down, there's 1,600 NDAs. Obviously, you can't search NDAs, but you can hunt down the technology. You can find the 1988 patents.
I have an NDA with Ripple, so that tells me nothing. Literally every audio guy that's ever worked on a panel for them has an NDA. So 1,600 NDAs is nothing to me. That's normal business operation. Let's open up the floor to Tristan. Tristan.
Hi, Tristan. Hi, y'all.
Yeah.
How are you? Good
What's
to
up,
talk
buddy?
to you again.
Hey,
Good, thanks.
Yeah, we're kind of monopolized the conversation here. I want to open it up to you.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt, so I was just letting you guys have your back and forth there. But just to make a point there on, so some of the exchange, well, all of the exchanges now. So KYC is an important part of this conversation. So everybody that's joining an exchange at the moment has to pass the KYC on most exchanges. Yeah.
And for the noobs here, KYC is know your customer. You have to input your information, upload your ID, that stuff. Go ahead.
Sure. And in certain countries, like the UK and European countries at the moment, they have already capped how much crypto you can buy on the exchanges. So say, for example, in the UK, the maximum amount of crypto you can hold on an exchange is, I believe it's 10,000 British pounds. and for an individual, and it's something like 10 million for a financial institution. You know, so that those caps already exist in some of the European countries. And the last time I was on your panel, I was talking to you about MICA. You might remember that it's the European version of the Clarity Act. It's the regulation that already exists for the cryptocurrency space. So there are limitations already in play in certain countries for how much crypto you can have.
And they're only going to tighten it. They're only going to tighten those regulations.
I agree. And when the Clarity Act does eventually get passed, I believe it's going to be the same in the US as well. That will happen,
Well, and that's why I'm pushing with Stand With Crypto. I don't know if you guys know who Stand With Crypto is. I'm working directly with them. They're on Coinbase. I'm educating them in what they're pushing. I literally had a meeting with the president of Stand With Crypto about a month ago and the VP day before yesterday. All right. Here on the live stream. And they don't even know what the Boozman Booker draft is. So that's why I'm plugged in. I'm trying to educate the people that they want the same things we want. They're just not as educated as we are. Everyone in this
the John Boozman Act is a very important part of the Clarity Act that's been established at the moment. Yeah, and I've read the Booker Act. Yeah.
Yeah. So and that gives us the clarity that we want, right, for institutions, and it also gives us the protections as the consumer, the investor. That's what we want, right? And then we can we need to build the right foundation here. And basically, Elon Musk, this is mostly directed to you, but it's also directed to everyone. The idea of me saying these things, I understand that you can disprove everything that I say or whatever. The idea is to get you to start thinking critically, to get you to start questioning everything around you, to start understanding that these are tools for control in the long run. And if we do it right and we come together as a community, we can make them tools for freedom. We can beat them at their own game. And the time is now. We are literally going into the primaries here in the U.S. This is the time where you can actually pick up the phone, make a phone call, and talk to your rep, talk to your senator, and tell them what you want. Tell them, hey, we want the Boozman Booker draft added to the Clarity Act. Now's the time to do it. All you have to do is go into Google. Now you can go to Stand With Crypto, and they've got a pre-typed out thing, but all it does is say, we want the Clarity Act. That's not what we want. We want the Boozman Booker draft, right? Take the extra initiative step, right? That's why I'm trying to work with Stand With Crypto so that we can amend that letter that they're having people sign and put out. Just go, how do I contact my state rep? And they're the first site that comes here. All right. I'm in California, but you can put your street address, city, zip code. Okay. And it'll give you the information. You can write a letter. It'll give you their phone number. All right. And you can push for these things. All right. So I'm calling the community, and I'm calling all creators to start pushing this information and educate your people on the Boozman Booker draft. Okay. The whole point of the conversation, Elon, I'm hyperbolic, bro. That's what I do. It's social media's rage bait, buddy. We had 4 people watching when you got here. Now we've got 40. That's the idea, is to get us talking. Okay. So don't get all, agitated with me. All right, buddy. Know that we're all on the same team here. We're all about educating each other.
Absolutely, bro. Have you ever looked at rwa.xyz by chance?
I have not, but we can pull it up real quick.
So it shows the live tokenization stack of tokenization of assets. So that's where you'll start learning about the Canton network. Have you heard about Canton CC yet?
I have it. That's the talk of the town right now. Everybody's talking
it's a
about
great
Canton
project.
right now.
So so one of the first people that broke Canton network was Maximus Crypto, as far as I know, off in one of his paid things. As far as I know, I was one of the first people to locate Canton network inside of RWA. You can hunt it down. It's pretty interesting. You can watch the actual inflow of tokenization and watch like what currencies are built upon those tokenization. And there's a graph on there that's pretty interesting.
This one right here, right? This is what you're talking about, the graph?
Yes, sir. Yeah, now you can start clicking around the top and you can start seeing what's built on what, like how much is on Ethereum, how much is on the Canton network, how much of it is a stable coin, and everything else.
Interesting. All right, walk me through something here. Let's pull something up. Stable coins. Let's look at, I guess, Tether, right? Actually, let's go back. Let's look at Circle. Where'd that go? Stable coins, Circle. Look at that. Circle's got its own stable coin. All right, so what am I supposed to be looking at here?
So you got to think.
You got to remember, the average person watching the show has no idea what we're looking for.
Okay, so you got to remember that every dollar that is a stable coin, according to, I believe, whatever act it was that Trump passed, has to be backed by an actual dollar in a reserve or a tokenized bond. Okay, so if there's a dollar stable coin that exists, then in the background there's a tokenized bond that backs that stable coin. That's what happens when we print money, is they create bonds and then they print money for those bonds. It's the same way with stable coins. When a stable coin is out there floating, it's just like a dollar out there floating. You got a dollar in your hand, it's backed by a bond. You've got a $1 stable coin, it's also backed by a utility bond. So what happens is, as those stable coins are created, there's more bonds being created, and those stable coins are getting 3 and 4% APY. So what happens in that case is holding U.S. debt becomes something somebody wants. If you can gain 3 or 4% instead of putting it in a bank and gaining 0.25% over a year, if you can gain 4%, 3, 4, 5% on a stable coin, then that's going to influence you to buy government debt in a version of a stable coin. And when you do that,
literally the video we just watched earlier, right? So they want us to buy stable coins, hold them, earn that APY, and then they're just Tether's taking it and turning around and buying U.S. Treasuries. And that's everything we were just talking about. 100%. So I agree with you.
So now you get to see it in action. It's kind of cool watching that chart, looking at this year and this year and this year, and then boom, all of a sudden in the last year and a half, it's just exploded. That's what you're gonna, if you're clicking around at the top over there on that rwa.xyz, I would save that because it's a pretty,
it's in my computer now. It's not going anywhere. I'm gonna dive into that some more. So
you'll click around and you'll find Canton network, and that's what you're going to find, that it's tokenized like $300 billion or something like that already.
So let's talk about the logistics of this. How do they force people to onboard into stablecoins? Because that's what they need people to do. Most people are invested into native tokens, right? So let's understand how obviously the government wants us to shift from native tokens into stable coins. How do they do that? By crashing the market.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing, like the banks, for example. You put $100,000 in the bank loans $90,000 out, $95,000 out to someone else on a piece of paper. You go to pick up $100,000, the bank tells you, I can only give you 10 today, and if you wait here 4 or 5 hours, we're going to go collect 90 grand from these other 3 or 4 banks and pay you, but they're going to try to pay you in a cashier's check. That's the thing with, oh my gosh, I'm going blank on the name of it, but as far as actual currency that exists, let's say there's 5 quadrillion worth of dollars out there. I'm sure there's more, obviously. In all reality, there's way, way, way less actual liquidity there. That's what happens with the bank runs. When people run on banks, you got if 1% of the people go right now to the banks and say they want their money out of the bank, there will be no more money in the bank.
Absolutely.
But on stablecoins, you don't have that problem. You don't have that problem with stablecoins. So why would you hold your money
there's
inside
a story,
of the bank?
Before we had internet and telephones and stuff like that, right? There was a guy that went to a bank. I forget where it was or whatever, but basically he went to the bank and they didn't have any money, and they sent out like a message to the other bank, like not to give out any more money. So he jumped on horseback and rode to the next town to the bank before the message got there and was able to get all of his money out of the bank. We don't have that anymore. It's instantaneous, right? But back to what I'm saying here is, and this is what I've been telling everybody, is more than likely they're going to crash these markets. It's the fourth turning. If you know anything about it, everything in the world, in the charts, society works in cycles, and the fourth turning is a cycle of great turmoil. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create hard times. We are in the hard times right now, and that cycle ends around 2028, right? So in my opinion, I believe that they're going to be either dumping the market, crashing it, or running it sideways. So if that's the case, and that's the play that's happening here, and they want people to stable coin up, why would you hold a coin like XRP, Cardano, Bitcoin, when you could literally stable coin up, take no risk, 4% APY, right? And then in a few years, once the market's bottomed out and we know we're either in the crab market or we're at the bottom, then buy and deploy. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. So let's just say this. Let's say that something happens inside of the government and they're basically saying the banks don't have money. The banks don't have money. And let's just say it's Saturday at 1:00 and everybody runs and they empty the ATMs out. There's nothing in the ATMs. Now everybody's like biting at the chomp Monday morning, sitting outside of the bank because they want to get their money out before everyone else does. Me, on Sunday night, I went and bought all stables. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done spent everything in my bank, attached my card, bought stables with it. I'm good. Like, I'd rather draw 4% APY anyway. I only keep enough money. And
you know what I'm doing right now? Because you've seen the price of gold, silver, copper, nickel is next. Okay. Any metal, right? So we can all agree that we're moving towards a cashless society, correct? Everybody here agrees with that sentiment. We're moving cashless.
Yeah, or tokenized versions of things.
How do you get rid of all the money, right? The paper's just paper. But the change, the coins have value because they are made of metal. Even the shit coins that are coming out right now that they're making, the zinc has value.
That's why they're ending pennies, because it takes 3 cents to make a penny.
They're remaking pennies now. They actually changed that because there's such a penny shortage right now that they started production again. But for me, I'm taking cash because me personally, right? I made my money in crypto. I'm pretty much out of it. I'm looking for real world assets, not tokenized real world assets, but real world assets to hold. So I'm buying land. Don't buy Lambos, buy land, bros. I'm buying land, property. I own a silver mine. I'm buying classic cars, and I'm taking my cash, and when I go to places and I find a rare coin, right? Silver or something, whatever, I buy all their change, right? So I give them $20 and I buy all their dimes and their quarters or whatever, or I buy a few rolls from them. And then I even go to the bank and I'll cash out $100 into coins. And I'm stacking up coins because the reason why they are raising the price of all these precious metals is because that's the first way to phase out coins. They're going to get you to get all your coins together, and it's going to be more lucrative for you to melt them down yourself and sell them as a bar than they are as change. And that's where we're headed. They want you to melt it down for them.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing is too, like if you go back in history and you look at how much actual money is actually flowing, we're already at a 97% digital currency right now. It's just it's not blockchain based yet, and it's failing. Like that, they have to change the way that they're moving currency from one place to another. They have to transfer because it's taking time. It's not backed by anything anymore since 1971 when it was since they took us off the gold reserve or the whatever in 1971 when Nixon took us off of it. I feel like we're going to go to a commodity backed. So you're going to be able to hold, hey, I'm holding a stable coin that's backed by silver. Hey, I'm holding stable coins backed by gold or oil or energy or whatever it may be.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at is I think we should, in this phase, an era of adoption, right? The adoption phase of crypto, you should be more focused on turning your crypto into a way to earn liquidity, collateral, money, whatever you want to call it, fiat, to exchange for real world assets that you can then tokenize. Be the owner of the tokenized asset, not the owner of the tokenization of the asset. That's the goal here, because that's what adoption will really pay off, are the people that actually own something. So we should be focused right now on turning our fiat into a real world asset that in turn can be tokenized later on down the road, because those are going to be the real players in this game. It's not going to be the people holding all the tokenized assets. It's going to be the people holding all the assets that are tokenized. Do you understand?
Yo, host.
Yo, what's up, buddy?
Yo, did you see that video?
Hey, that's a
of
nice
that-
dress you got on there, buddy.
Yeah.
Looking
Did
good.
you see that Did you see that video of that Russian finance minister accusing Trump of trying to devaluate the 36 trillion in debt using stablecoins?
I did not, but you know what? Join the Discord, and you can post that in one of the sections on Discord. And I take a look at all those stuff, and I cover them here on the show. So if you're not in the Discord yet, click the link in my bio and get plugged in, because we got a lot going on in there, all kinds of stuff. And we have a whole section for news and rabbit hole stories or whatever it may be. There's a section where you can put that in there. And I look at everything.
That's what that come out about 2 or 3 months ago. And that's basically, they accused Trump of doing what I was saying a minute ago, where they're going to create where people want to own U.S. debt, because right now everybody's selling U.S. debt. China's dumping debt. Everybody's dumping debt because they don't trust the dollar.
Well, that's because of Japan.
They're trying to create a vacuum.
Japan stopped buying treasuries, right? So because of that, that's what's happening. But as long with that happening is all that's doing is it's driving people into stable coins, which is going to be then turned around into buying treasuries, like we were talking about earlier. So over time, yeah, it's going to be great. It looks bad right now, but it's, like I said, it's the fourth turning. We've got like a few years left of hardship, right? They're 20-year segments. For the last 20 years, we have been in trash, turmoil economically, right? Would you agree? 2008 to 2028, that's 20 years. Okay? So that's why I believe after 20 years is that fourth turning ends and we go into the first turning, which is a time of prosperity. So how we position ourselves now over the next couple years is going to make and break everyone. Tristan, you look like you got something to say.
Yeah, I might just add a little bit to that because, like, if you look at the U.S. debt, okay, it's like what 38 trillion debt at the moment. I think most people don't even understand who that debt is owed to. And I'd probably suggest to everybody to go off and research that. Like even
We
if
owe
you
the
do,
Decepticons, man. We don't owe anybody technically. It's the same money moving around
yeah,
in a circle.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when you're talking about U.S. treasuries and whatnot, you have the U.S. buying back their own treasuries and paying interest on those treasuries, and who are they paying that interest to? Themselves. You know,
Exactly.
so people need to understand what 38 trillion of debt actually is when you do a deep dive into it, you know, and when you understand that, you know, the US doesn't actually owe anybody 38 trillion, that they're actually making money on the fact that that debt exists, you
Right.
know. And people need to be educated about things like that to understand, you know, how money and the financial systems work, you know.
Black
Yeah.
XXOR says GDP is debt. Exactly.
Yeah,
You
they
know
do.
what?
Yeah.
Unemployment is GDP.
Yes.
Yeah, and like right now, every dollar that's in existence right now is debt. Like when I go to buy a milk up at Brahms, which you don't, or you go buy some at McDonald's, I go buy a hamburger at McDonald's. I'm buying a hamburger with debt that's backed by a bond. Like that is, it's debt. Every dollar that exists is debt.
Yeah, and when you're talking about precious metals and like gold and silver or copper or whatever it is, actually there's a guy in the chat, Scotty Dog, really good guy to talk to
Oh yeah, I
about
love Scotty Dog.
precious metals.
That's my
Yeah.
boy. That's my dog
Yeah.
right there.
Anything you want to know about precious metals, he's your man. But you know, like precious metals are a store of value, like gold, silver, whatnot. You know, so you're correct in what you're saying. You know about transferring fiat currency into metals or coins or silver or copper or whatever it is. You know, I agree with that. And then, yeah, what you said about, you know, trying to move towards owning assets and eventually they becoming digital real world assets on chain and whatnot. That's definitely good advice, you know.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
You know
Yeah.
what? Everyone here, you're all here for financial reasons, right? Me, I'm here because I'm using your wallet to get your attention, that I am leading the resistance. And the resistance, the people that have change, coin money, the resistance will operate with coin money when everything is cashless.
Mhm.
So if you're in the resistance, you better have coins, because that's how we're going to transact. Your quarter, your penny, your nickel are going to be far more valuable than any paper dollar.
And that's shown to prove. I mean, that's a fact because the quarter, like my great grandpa went to the gas station with the quarter and could get a gallon of gas in the 1950s. And here's the kicker: I can take that same quarter today that he spent back then. Now I can't hand it to the lady at the pump, but I can take it up to somewhere pawn shop and exchange it and get $6 for it and buy 3 gallons of gas now, because what that piece of silver was back in 1958. That quarter to grandpa got a gallon of gas with, I can buy 3 gallons of gas today with it.
Exactly. And here's another thing is to understand is that all metals will be going up in value, not just silver. And a lot of people, they're looking for 1964 earlier because they're 90% silver coins, right? The coins from the 70s, they've got silver in them, baby. It's not 90%, but it's still in there. And everyone is naive to the fact that those are still going to be very valuable. There's a large percentage of silver in those compared to what you make today. But even what you get today, it's got zinc in it. It's got copper in it. It's money. Zinc and copper are going up too, and they're going to be more valuable than the face value of the coins that are coming out right now.
I would. I don't know.
Well, hold on a second. Tristan, what were you saying?
The utility of silver at the moment is what's driving the price of silver.
Absolutely. Silver is in everything. It's in medicine. It's in computers. It's in thermocouples. It's in breakers. It's in everything we use. It's in chemtrails.
It's the biggest contributor to the utility of silver at the moment is the push on defense in worldwide with the creation of like all these missiles and drones and bombs. Do you know that there's like nearly 500 ounces of silver alone in one missile?
Yeah. And you know what? I actually, in my Discord, I have videos and information on how to extract these precious metals and where to find them in everyday garbage for free right now. And I have videos on how to prospect for it as well. I have a silver mine. I'm going to begin prospecting. Like, why wouldn't I right now, right? Am I going to open a silver mine on a major scale? Absolutely not. I'll probably sell the land by that point. But in the meantime, I'm going to pull out a little bit of dust. Why not? I got time on my hands. I'll probably live stream it while I'm out there shaking the dirt with you guys. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the Green Hornet. Green Hornet, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for joining. Appreciate having you, brother.
Yeah, man. I was just sitting here listening to the panel here. Sounds like a great conversation. I'm just going to jump up and join in whenever I had an opportunity to, but I don't have that opportunity right now. I gotta answer my daughter's question, so
hey, absolutely.
I'm gonna back up.
Just wanted to give you a welcome since you came on the panel here where I had an opportunity to reset the room. Let me reset the room for a second, guys. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. Follow me on all platforms at Oz the Crypto Goat. And don't forget to click the link in my bio, join the Discord. There's a lot of information in there. We have a section that's called #knowledge, and it's nothing but audiobooks, how to navigate the legal system, the financial system. We have #survival skills that will teach you not only like tactical for playing Call of Duty or airsoft, how to dress wounds, things like that. We're doing a lot over there. So Jeff, definitely join the Discord. Elon Muff, I believe you had something to say, but I think you muted yourself.
Yeah, I noticed I stepped on someone and I respectfully stepped back. It was an accident.
No worries, man.
I didn't know I'm hoping you could, if you don't want to do it right now, maybe another time. If you was to just possibly go to Grok and say, what is Bretton Woods 3.0? And Grok or something else, you can do whatever.
This is an anti-AI show, but I'll tell you what, if Jesse is in the chat right now, I did have to lay Jessie off. So she's the fact checker for the show. I'm hoping to, now that we've boosted the show up and we're earning an income again, I'll continue to bring her on and pay her. If Jessie is in the chat, she is our fact checker. I don't like AI because AI will go down whatever rabbit hole you lead it into. So that's why we have a real human to fact check for us. But whatever you're talking about or whatever, man, I know you're in the Discord. Message me and I'll have Jesse look into it and then we can talk about it the next time.
Yeah, because like it was a Bretton Woods 1.0, and then in 1971 we become a Bretton Woods 2.0, and then what I'm speaking of is the Bretton Woods 3.0 society. Like we have literally been through a Bretton Woods 1. Through a Bretton Woods 2 from 71 and up. And you could basically just ask the question, what is Bretton Woods 3.0 and how would that apply to crypto? And say, please deep dive it. Like, just give it a little read, just simple read and go, okay, this makes sense.
I'll look into it some more. I mean, I understand what happened in the 70s. And we kind of see that playing out again. Someone in the chat said Bretton Woods is done and over with, but I agree with you. We're having history doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes. So there's definitely some similarities happening right now. But for me, like I see the big picture. I zoom out, right? And when I came to this realization that we were having a cashless society, I was working at, and this is why I keep these items back here. Everything back here has meaning, everything that you see. So this is from the 2022 All-Star Game. I had this signed by Mike Trout. I worked the audio for the 2022 All-Star Game. That was the first time I had come into contact with basically the beta test of a cashless society. And if you go to any sporting game now, anything sports is 100% cashless. You cannot spend cash there. All right. Now, I had plenty of credit card money, or excuse me, cash. I've always operated with cash. I didn't have any money in my bank account or in credit card, right? I couldn't buy anything. I actually bought this baseball prior to going to there and carried this around in my fanny pack for a week, waiting for an opportunity for somebody to sign it. And that's how I got it. I did not purchase that. All right. And I even have video of all of it going down. Anyway, in that moment, I wanted to get a hat, right? I'm a hat guy. I got a stack of hats, right? I wanted to get a hat and jersey and some stuff, right? I couldn't spend a dime there. I had plenty of money, couldn't buy anything. And I had this realization that the only place that I could spend money within a 10-block radius in LA, literally every store front, everything went completely cashless. It was not just the All-Star Game. And mind you, the All-Star Game was not just at the field. It was downtown LA. A whole 10-block radius was completely closed off, and every business within that 10-block radius had to be cashless. And I was like, wow, they're beta testing this idea of no cash. Will people accept it? And people accepted it with open arms. I hated it. The only place that I could spend money were the Mexican hot dog vendors. It was the only place I could get anything with cash. And that's when I had the realization that we were headed to this, because that's how they do it. They start with sports. Anyway, just a little story for you guys.
Can I just ask, Elon, so you're talking about the Bretton Woods 2.0. In what context?
Well, I mean, the Bretton Woods 2.0 started in 1971 when we became when our currency was no longer backed by gold. Now, if you go look what is Bretton Woods 3.0 and how it applies to crypto, just hop on, next time you got a minute, hop on an AI and ask that. Just read what it says.
Yeah, because I know there is mention in the Bretton Woods 2.0 in terms of tokenization and cryptocurrencies and so on, and real world assets and so on. What's different about the Bretton Woods 3.0? Just out of curiosity, I'm just asking the question.
Okay, so right now, are you in the States? Are you in the US?
No, I'm in Europe, in Ireland.
Okay. Okay, well, the United States is the reserve currency of the world, even though it's probably losing its status daily, but basically that has been the reserve currency for the last 50 years, ever since the UAE signed the treaty saying that they were going to, or not treaty, but signed the contract saying they were going to buy everything, all the oil in dollars, and it became the petrodollar. On our dollars used to say, this is backed by gold, this is backed by silver, whatever, silver certificates and whatnot. Now it just says this is legal tender. Okay, so currency is not backed by anything. At one point, they came through the United States and they told everyone, turn in your gold, turn in these precious metals, and we're going to give you these basically bonds, these dollars in exchange for it. And if you don't, then you're going to jail. That literally happened.
Okay, it wasn't necessarily jail. It was based on the fear-mongering idea that you could be stuck holding an asset that we're no longer going to buy back.
Yeah.
No, there was like, it was literally under fear of jailing. The fines would put someone so far back they would be slave to a system for the rest of their life, basically.
Yeah, a fine, not jail. It was never jail. So like, let's be factual here. Basically, it was under threatened arrest, coercion. The fact that if you're going to hold on to this gold, you could potentially not be able to spend it anywhere. No one will take it.
Yeah.
And this is your one opportunity to give it to us. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck holding the bag. Let's just, keep it factual here. You're not wrong, but you're also slight detail. I pay attention to detail here, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. Join the Discord link in my bio. The Discord is goated, ladies and gentlemen. And also, shout out to Bright Aesthetics. She says that Knott's Berry Farm is also cashless. That is correct. If you live in California and you need an esthetician, give Bright Aesthetics a follow. Great esthetician. Quality work. Keeps your skin glowing. No filters here, chat.
Okay, so, moment, just 1 second.
I want to interject something to Tristan there. Talking about backing of the dollar, what is it backed by now? We were backed by gold. Would you agree, or would you say it's backed by confidence? Like the global, the dollar backs everything. It's the reserve currency. It's essentially confidence in a nation, right? That's essentially what's backing your currency. I just wanted to interject that, and I'm going to listen. Do you guys agree with that?
To a point.
Our currency says it's not backed by anything anymore. There's nothing backing it.
Well, it's like a piece of paper is a piece of paper, but why don't people buy as much of China's piece of paper as they do ours? Because there's more confidence in the way we operate. There's more confidence in our economy. There's more confidence in the U.S., right? So it's essentially confidence in it's essentially someone's word still. That's what it is. Because, that's the way I view it. That's the way I look at it. But I wanted to interject that. Just listen to your comments.
Yeah, and you're correct in saying that. Yeah, I would agree with your assessment on that.
Okay, so I want to go over the Executive Order 6102. Executive Order is not law. Okay, it is not a lawful order. It is a temporary emergency order. So just because something is written in pen, even Donald Trump signing no CBDCs law, whatever, it's a temporary thing in place, and it can be overturned in court. So it was never actually had any validity or standing to it. It was a threat. There was never actually any form of basically imprisonment from this, just so you know.
Yeah, I think at the moment a big threat to the dollar is, the BRICS being established, and there's a lot of, on the macroeconomic scale, political scale, and geopolitical scale, there's a lot of things happening at the moment that are putting a pressure on the dollar. I don't know. You could spend hours and hours talking about that,
Right. Honestly, yes, confidence is part of what drives the U.S. dollar, and we've lost a bit of confidence because Japan stopped buying treasuries, right, and bonds, right.
Well, let me
but that's just based off of. Hold on. That's just based off of economy. The real value that the dollar is backed by is by oil, because we force countries to buy oil with the U.S. dollar. That's where it gets its confidence from. Go ahead, Green Hornet.
Well, I was going to say Japan sold off very little of their bonds. So when you look at what they sold off, it was minuscule. So
Well, they're not
that's
buying
something
them
that
anymore,
people,
is what I said. They're not buying any new bonds.
yeah, but they're still the largest or second largest holder in the world. They don't need to buy any more bonds. That's what this move to stable coins. I've been listening to you guys talk about that. The way I see everything, I've listened to the way everyone's views. This is my view and what I think is happening. Do you guys remember, if you're a student of history, you remember how the railroads would pay their workers in their own currency, right? Essentially, like back then, the big industrialized employers had their own currency. Essentially, they paid you in their currency. Because a lot of the times you worked, your life was with that employer. So essentially, it's a form of that with the stable coins. What I see is in the future, I believe every employer will have a stable coin. Every bank will have their own stable coin. And the rule is it's going to be backed by the rush. What is the rush right now? What's the true gold rush? What I think is happening is the backing of those stable coins. And so when you look at this administration, the rule is going to be one bond per one. If you're going to mint 500 million tokens, 500 million stable coins on Binance, then it's got to be backed 1-to-1. What does that do? That ensures that confidence. That also allows them to essentially pay off debt. If you look into fractional transactions, that's what everybody's going to. That's why you may have a bank and 3 companies that are involved in a transaction, and each one of them in the future will have their own stable coin, because as money flows through to complete that transaction, that's going to be instantaneous, but everyone garners a yield off of that. And that's what we're moving to. I would venture to say in the future, I don't know when, in the future, we're all going to have essentially, you're going to be able to see when you go and trade time for whatever value you create in your life. Like if you're an oil and gas worker like I am, you get paid every 2 weeks. I get paid every 2 weeks. I think in the future, you're going to see the time as you accrue it, you're going to see it in your wallet. I think that's essentially what we're going to have. That's what we're going to. So you'll get paid. There won't be a paycheck when you come and trade your time. You're going to be able to see it accrue by the minute.
It's in stream pay. That's like ZBCN and ADP.
That is reality. That's what's happening now. And why are they going to do that? Because the infrastructure of the current way that we trade value in this world, whether it be gold, silver, paper, it's not efficient. Look, just think of the infrastructure of the banking system. They don't have to have all this money that's got to be shipped around from bank to bank. Shipping, all the infrastructure of moving and running around goes away with digital currencies. And that's why they're going to it.
Hundreds of trillions of dollars in the Nostro Vostro accounts right now.
Is it about control? I think it's more about efficiency and them, like everything, making more money. That's what I think it's about.
I want to push back on that a little bit real quick, if you don't mind. I think it's about control, because right now you're forced to save 2 weeks' pay, right? So when you get that paycheck, you've got a lump sum of money that now you can pay bills and actually have something. The average person, obviously most of us here, we're at least somewhat good with money because we've got something to invest. We're at least talking about it and thinking about investing. That's the first step, right? The average person does not invest, does not save, does not know how to manage money whatsoever. You will literally see the average person working themselves into deeper debt this way by getting paid instantaneously, because they'll say, man, I want a candy bar right now, but I don't got enough. I got 10 more minutes before I can buy a candy bar. They will spend their money up and it will be gone. And then they'll have to take out more debt in order to pay their bills and so on and so forth. And debt is what slavery is. It's a way to keep people from getting out of debt and getting them deeper into slave-like behavior.
I have multiple businesses, and it's.
Hold on. Let him respond real quick, Elon.
Man, I completely agree with that. I don't disagree with what you're saying there. I almost think of like I have multiple views on what we're going. If I'm going to compartmentalize the conversation to what I think ultimately they're doing, I think we got to a point where it was too easy to move between the classes, and they said, you know what, we're not going to allow that. And they're essentially the world is the movement we have right now is for you to stay. It is a form of control. I agree with you 100%. You control the debt, you control people. What are you doing there on a larger scale? You're keeping people in the classes you want them in. You're making it harder. You're not saying they can't move between the classes, but classism fundamentally is where you make it hard to move between them. And I think that's essentially what we're doing. I relate it all to that movie, The Hunger Games, where you had all those districts, the worker districts. That's what we're moving into, and that's what it looks like, man. So I don't disagree with a lot of your view or anything. I just don't think that we'll be able to stop it. Essentially, like for instance, you mentioned the currency will be gold and silver. I would argue because of the lack of confidence going forward, if the world did collapse, essentially, the value would be bullets and knowledge.
Absolutely. I think bullets is a good form of currency in a state of collapse. However, in a state of collapse, you will not see me trading bullets whatsoever, because once they're gone, they're gone. All right. And obviously you can do reloads or whatever, but why would I give somebody the means to come and take from me? So the real currency is food and water in that situation, not bullets. You want to have bullets because you know it only takes one bullet to take all of somebody else's resources.
It'll be what you want, but you can't get it. So obviously food, water, you'll trade, you know what I mean? But yeah, I like a lot of what I've not seen anyone on the app doing what you're doing here. This is pretty cool, man. I'm going to give you a follow and join your Discord or something, have more interactions. I've heard of Elon, and I know Tristan. I've seen him well. If you guys don't know who Tristan is, I don't know if y'all know his background, but he's an intelligent person and has a lot of information regarding trading. If you guys don't know who he is, so y'all should give him a follow as well.
Everyone follow everyone in the chat here. Give everyone a follow here. They're all great people. Down the rabbit hole on the bottom there, that's my other channel where we deep dive into more of this conspiracy stuff, whatever we go into, the Illuminati and the moon landing and whatnot. But in the Discord, and click the Discord link in my bio, join the Discord, guys. There's a section under survival skills where I give detailed information and breaks down how things would work in societal collapse. And it also breaks down why you don't want to trade ammunition as currency. Because like I said, when you give in full-blown societal collapse and you've got two separate factions, two different families, two different people fighting for resources to survive, you do not want to give them the means to attack you and take your resources. So bullets is not the currency, in my opinion. I think bullets is a good thing to have, but I would...
to me, it kind of depends on how much you have. I mean, if you're sitting there with 10 bullets and stuff's going on all the way around you, that's one thing. If you've been stacking bullets for 40 years and you can trade a little pew one out of 100,000 of these things you got for dinner for your family.
I can have 100,000 bullets racked up and sell one 30-06 round and get sniped and lose it all. It only takes one bullet to end it all.
I might just tell you a little story that will put things into perspective about bullets. So a little bit of my background is I spent 12 years in the Special Forces, and I served in some pretty wild places. 1994 in Rwanda was one of them. I worked with the UN peacekeepers, and when some of our guys would be kidnapped and whatnot, it was our job to go and find them and get them back. So I would be out walking through villages and stuff like that where thousands and thousands and thousands of people, women, children, whatnot, were basically just slaughtered with machetes and whatnot and dumped in ditches all along both sides of the road. And at the end of that genocide, you had kids walking around with AK-47s and bags of bullets and whatnot. And they would try and trade those bullets and AK-47s for something as simple as a small loaf of bread.
There's your answer right there. Real world situation played out in the past, and it'll happen again. It just don't work like that. Everyone wants to say bullets. Bullets is a great thing to have, but it's not a great thing to trade. Food and water, canned goods,
exactly.
dried beans and rice. The long shelf life, basically, if it's stored properly, it will last indefinitely, and it costs nothing. And
Honey, peanut butter.
Stockpile it. And I do that here. So, like, we stockpile all kinds of stuff here, and, we're set up. We get the water from the ground and the energy from the sun. We grow our own food, and we got our own thing going on here. Isolated from everything, and no debt, no one to tell me what to do. That's why I can go live here and do this all the time and be retired. I don't need a lot to survive and to live off of. I can do a lot with a couple bucks. It don't take much. The idea is, if you want to be free, you got to get out of debt, ladies and gentlemen. Debt is slavery.
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. I think key is, and Green Hornet said there, knowledge. Education is a huge thing that I'm a champion of. Educating people about how to make money and how to make use of the little money that they are earning. That's a big thing for me. Like, if somebody is only earning a couple of $100 every week, it's very, very, very hard to get out of poverty, and if you can educate someone to be smart about how they're using money and how not to buy things that you don't need, you might eventually be able to climb out of that poverty trap. And that's something that I'm a huge ambassador of that.
One of the things I say in the hashtag knowledge and in the Discord a lot is I tell people, because a lot of people, they're all over the crypto stuff. They're all over that stuff. I'm like, guys, you need to get in the knowledge section. Start reading these books. Start educating yourself, because knowledge is the sharpest weapon you will ever wield in this life. Because this war is not being fought with handguns and cannon fodder. It's being fought on your phone, on your TV screen. It's being fought here on TikTok. We are on the front lines of freedom right here. That's what this is. Information and intelligence is what wins wars, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think I'm trying to do here? The whole purpose of the crypto financial thing is just to get your attention. I'd care less about any of that. But I'm good at it. So I figured I'll make you guys some money so that you guys can put yourselves in an advantageous position to actually be the change that we need, be the resistance.
Well, that's what I think a lot of people need. The people that have already, acquired wealth from, trading or crypto or investing or whatever, really need to try and educate people about how to do it. Me personally, I'm not interested in likes or gifts or becoming an influencer or anything like that. My one interest is trying to help people to understand what cryptocurrency is, how to invest, how to do it properly, how to actually make some money, how to learn trading analysis, how to do it properly. My mantra is learn before you earn.
I tell people this all the time. I'm like, invest in yourself and your knowledge before you invest in the market. And, I want y'all to make it. I want y'all to make money. That's all part of it, because you can't be a slave to the system and fight against it at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
Elon, I think you had something to say. It says, I want to speak on the stream play.
Yeah, we were talking about stream pay. So like you actually go look into the use case of ZBCN and go chase and find its links into ADP, which ADP is used for payment all over the place for like people's jobs. At the end of the week, they get paid every Friday. I have had and have multiple businesses, even having 10 or 12 employees. I have to tie up one of my office people on Thursday to sit there and go through everybody's hours, go through everything, and then I have to pay ACH fees each time I paid that employee. Now, just that one employee working on Friday was costing me $250 a day. And then the ACH fees to pay 15 employees was $60, $50, something to the nature almost every time I did that. Now, StreamPay, the more you look into it, you can get paid by the second. You could clock in, walk to the bathroom, sit on the toilet, check your bank account, and you done made $1.25 from the clock to the toilet. And at the end of the week, that's less costly than having that employee sit there and have to work the hours all day long. It's as soon as you clock in, StreamPay happens. That's literally going live. Now, if you start to look at the daily jobs, I don't know what companies you have.
Does that pay you in stablecoin, or does it pay you in native token?
Honestly, I'd have to go look and see exactly, because it's not really live.
It's with the ZBAC network. It's in stablecoin.
Yeah, it's in stablecoin, and it's already linked into ADP.
That's not bad. See, so I live stream on Abstract. We're actually the #1 live stream on Abstract 6 days in a row. Abstract is a layer 2 technology on the Ethereum network where I can live stream on the blockchain. There's no algorithm to hold me back. It's all based off of engagement and performance, right? So the more likes I get, the more viewership I get, the more I get paid. And I get paid in crypto. Here, I'm going to pull it up for you guys here to take a look at this. So this is the live stream that's going down right now. My wallet's linked to it. Now, I've been doing this for about a month or so. I only got like $18, but that's because I'm getting paid in Pengu and Ethereum and Newt, and they're mostly meme coins, and they've been on the downs right now. But it's all pretty much bottomed out. The way I see it is I'll accumulate this for a while, for the next 10, 20 years, or however long till the next cycle, right? And this 18 is probably going to be looking more like $18,000. So for me, because I don't need the money, this is lucrative to me. I want to hold those meme coins. I want to get paid in meme coins, because I know that with Abstract, Abstract Pengu has utility. I get more payment. I can get a 50x multiplier on my payment for the time that I live stream, the more Pengu I hold. And as Abstract gets adopted with more live streamers, you're going to see more people wanting to hold more of that Pengu in order to boost their lives, right? So I see the big picture that down the road, but obviously somebody who's, getting paid and needs to pay their bills tomorrow, that's not lucrative. I've lost money over the last couple months live streaming because it keeps going down. But having a system that pays in stablecoin that earns APY, now we're talking. That sounds great, for the average everyday person.
And I feel that's what's inevitably, that's what the banks are trying to do, is hold your stablecoin. They want to hold your stablecoin, and they want to get that 4.5 APY. Right. And they're trying to stop us from getting it.
And that's part of why they're pushing the Clarity Act. And if you guys missed the show, the last couple shows that I've had Stand with Crypto on the show. Okay, the president of Stand with Crypto, Wendio's moderator, and I believe he's VP or big player in Stand with Crypto. on the show the last couple days. It's all on YouTube. So you can find me on YouTube at Oz the Crypto Goat. Go watch those shows. Okay.
It's actually great. I was actually on the panel with you that night she was on.
Right, exactly. And you know, there's a lot of good stuff, but you got to understand these people, they don't understand the Boozman Booker draft. They didn't even know it existed. And these are the people pushing the Clarity Act. That's where I come in. I'm rubbing elbows with the most powerful and influential people in the world. I've been doing it since I started my career. That's just my niche in the system here. I've got a lot of powerful, influential connections, and I've been pulling strings over the last year, right? Trying to make this happen, everything we're doing here. So I'm trying to educate the people that are pushing all this stuff. That's why I've been so, like, I have a stack of leads right here on my desk of people to get on the show here. Major people. We're talking about big names. All right. But I'm not focused on them because that's not what's important. What's important is this Clarity Act right now. The legislation that's getting passed. We need to get this right, ladies and gentlemen. This is our one chance to lay a solid foundation. Any building built without a solid foundation will crumble. And so that's why I'm working really hard to educate our most influential people in the space. That's why I'm deep diving into this stuff so hard, and I'm pushing, guys. I know I took 2 months off from doing this show, and my algorithm has suffered for it, but I never stopped working. I just been grinding somewhere else. I've been touching grass and making connections in real life in order to make the change that we need in this space. Not just me interviewing other people on TikTok, you know, and don't take this the wrong way. I love having all of you guys here in the panel. I love talking back and forth with the different creators that are here. But the conversation has to expand outside of that. And that's why I encourage every single one of you to go onto Google, find out who your rep is, and message them. Get educated in the Boozman Booker draft. See if it's something you align with, which I'm sure you will, and push that. But it's something that no one's even talking about. And it wouldn't even be relevant in this space if I hadn't brought it up. So that's the whole idea here, guys. That's my main focus and goal in basically over the next 6 months to a year, whenever this legislation gets passed, because they're predicting 2027 is when it's going to get passed, and 2029 is when it gets implemented. So we've got 1 year to make it happen, Captain. So, and really we don't have that much time. We've got till primaries to make it happen, because that's the only time they're going to listen to the little people like us. After that, it won't matter. So let your voices be heard. Anyway, that's my little rant.
Yeah, I applaud you on that, Oz. I agree with what you're saying there. And I when I was on the panel with you, when you were talking to Wendy, was it her name, the girl from Stand With Crypto? She had put me onto the Stand With Crypto Europe. So there is an actual Stand With Crypto Europe.
It's global.
Form as well. Yeah. And I've been interacting with them a lot over the last month or so.
And we need to educate them that we want to lay a foundation that is not just beneficial to institutions, but also to investors as well. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay. But yeah, it is very important. And like, I'll tell you how important it is. Like, I'm from Ireland, and even from Ireland, I'm paying close attention to what's going on in the US, and especially with the likes of the Genius Act, the Clarity Act, you know, Boozman Act, all of that kind of stuff. So traders across the world are paying attention to what's going on. So it is vitally important that it's done and done right, you know.
The problem is the people that have the influence and the power to make it change have no idea. Us here on TikTok, these communities that we have are the most educated people in crypto I've ever come across. I go to these major events with some of the developers of this technology, and they don't even, as far as the legislation side, they don't know. They're nerds. Like, they know how to code, but they don't understand, politics. And that's the idea is we need to educate the politics on the technology and educate the people making the technology on politics. And that's what I'm trying to do, is bridge that gap here, baby.
Yeah, a lot of those nerds could be literally sitting there building a weapon of their own demise and not even realizing it. They're sitting there doing something for the government, doing nerd work, and they're going to hand the weapon off that controls everyone in the end.
Absolutely.
And they don't realize they're even doing it.
Exactly.
And that's why, and it's also important for, like people that are watching like these lives and these panels to kind of understand the importance of educating themselves and kind of creating their own network of people that they can trust and to learn from, So because there are an awful lot of, I'm going to call it BS guys on these platforms too, that just want to take your money and sell you this bot and this trade in. So be careful of that kind of stuff too. Just learn and pay attention to the correct people. Don't be just following every Tom, Dick, and Harry on TikTok.
Any influencer that is shilling something to you is probably paid or has some type of contract with whatever. And if you are an influencer with a contract and you are shilling something, you have a duty to divulge that information to the community, that you are paid to do this stuff. Look at Zach Rector and what's his name? The guy that looks like he's got to take a shit all the time. Jake Claver. Yep, that's him.
Oh. I thought
it's all come out.
I thought you were talking about the cokehead Crypto Hulk.
Oh yeah, Crypto Hulk, and what about Crypto Psycho or Psycho Crypto? That dude's a freaking. We gotta be careful of the words but he's on something for sure. These people, a lot of them are users. That's why they're influencers. That's why they can have the personality that they have. And they're literally using you to support their habits.
Absolutely, yeah.
And people are naive to this. They just follow this stuff. Like, look at what's his name? See, and I don't want to talk too bad about certain people. Wendy O, she used to be out there with the XRP stuff. She's reeled it in quite a bit. And she kind of understands and gets the whole thing. And I'm really excited to bring her on the show here, or at least come onto her show and talk to her. I've talked with her a few times. I met her in person. Great lady. But it wasn't until we had a conversation that the script changed, because everyone's been sold a bill of goods and everyone's concerned about pumping their bags. Look at the chat. Most of what you see in there is, what do I buy? What should I be holding? They don't care about the real issues that we're talking about here. They care about pumping their bags. They will vote for whatever and stand behind whatever pumps their bags. And that's the rhetoric I'm trying to break. Think more longevity, guys. We understand that this is all going somewhere. You're going to make it eventually if you're here now. Be patient and let's build the foundation the way it should be built.
Absolutely. There's some great content creators on the likes of TikTok, that I've got to know over the last however long I've been using this platform. I don't go on TikTok very often, but I do often listen into lives, if I'm doing whatever I'm doing or business. And there are some really, really good content creators.
Absolutely.
Like Green Hornet was on there a while ago. Very good guy. Waddy, you know him. You've been on some of his lives with. I've been on them with you a few times. There's some really, really good guys out there that want to educate people about cryptocurrency and investing and whatnot. So, kind of get to know the people that you're following, and as Oz says, if they're trying to shill you something, stay clear.
Yeah.
you know.
And I was in Wadi's life, and this is not on Wadi. This is what the chat was saying, right? But
Yeah.
everything I've been saying about the Clarity Act and what we've been talking about, I started pushing a few months ago, right? And talking about it, and it's something I've been working on, and I'm very passionate about, right? And I went up there, and all the creators are in the panel, and they're all talking, and I get up there, and I basically am like, shame on you guys. Have you even read the Clarity Act? Do you know anything about it? No, you're just pushing something because you know it's going to pump your bags. And I'm like, you have an opportunity to have your voice be heard. I'm like, which of you have, contacted your senator or your congressman? Which of you have actually written an email or picked up the phone? None of them. And they all literally said, well, there's nothing we can do about it because the lobbyists have all the control and the institutions have all the control. We might as well just go along with it. I'm like, fuck that. Like, and like I literally been saying is we are going into primaries right now. This is our opportunity to have some leverage to make them do what we want to do. We have a small window here, and then once that window closes, it's done and over with. We're done. And everyone just wants to roll over and take it and say, well, I need my bags to pump right now. And they literally started attacking me for it.
And I agree. And also, it's important to understand that, for people that are going on to have live or panel discussions and whatnot, there are a lot of, I call them bluffers, but there's guys that will spend half a day trolling through TikTok and listening to every bloody video that they can see, and then they go on to some lads live and they'll just spoof off a load of stuff that they're after hearing that day. You really kind of need to know that the people that you want to get education from are people that have already become wealthy, and have already been there, done that, wore the t-shirt,
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to go on to somebody's panel and pretend I'm something I'm not, because, I've spent years, doing the groundwork and educating myself to become, a good day trader. That's my expertise. I have several businesses that turn over six-figure sums every year, so I have the wealth, I have the knowledge and whatnot behind me to be able to come on here and talk about whatever it is you want to talk about in terms of investing or finance or crypto or different projects that are going on in cryptocurrencies and so on, because I've already spent time to research them, and know what I'm talking about before I go on to somebody's live. So it's really important to pay attention to who you're listening to, and as like you're saying, Oz, if you're going to spend some time to talk about the Clarity Act because you've already researched it and you've read it, as have I.
Yeah. Most people haven't even read it.
Yeah. And
most people here talking about it haven't even read it.
Exactly. And I'm one of those people I'm into the fine detail. I'll spend time to read it section by section, go through it, understand it, research it, and see what are the amendments that are taking place already, why did they take place, what's coming down the way, what possible amendments need to take place before it's passed. That's the kind of depth of research I'll do with something. So it's really, really important to educate yourselves on every aspect of cryptocurrency and the like, and the legislation attached to it before you start investing your hard-earned money into it, because it's very easy to lose it.
Exactly. I want to address Third Eye in the chat says, I thought your bags pump the more you fill your bags. These are the people that are literally buying cryptocurrency. Either that's being hyperbolic, but I think that's most people actually. They're just keep throwing more money at it. Never take any profits, hold it forever. I'm not going to spend it until I can spend it when it's adopted.
Yeah, my answer to that is, me personally, I'll just talk about me, what I do. I don't hold cryptocurrencies apart from Bitcoin, but I bought Bitcoin when it was way lower than it is now. It was like 20 something thousand. Okay. I day trade regularly cryptocurrencies. It's only part of my portfolio, but I do day trade various different cryptos, and I make a lot of money from trading cryptos rather than buying and just holding. Because if you buy something and then you're holding it and then the price is going down and you're trying to DCA in and all this waffle that does be going around,
you just round trip, baby.
Exactly. You're just costing yourself money in the long term,
Right.
If you want to really make sense of how to make money with cryptocurrency in terms of holding it, and as you were saying earlier, APYs and staking and so on, how to make money with your crypto, start looking into, DeFi banking and projects like Hyperliquid and stuff like that, and understand how they work and how you can actually make your crypto bags, as we call it, make money for you. That would be a suggestion that I would probably make.
For me personally, not financial advice, but probably the best advice you're going to hear is the idea is to make a risky investment with a small amount of money and a less risky investment with a large amount of money. The idea is to use a small amount of money to gain a lot of money and offboard it out of crypto and put it into something real and tangible. Not just put it in your bank account, buy land, buy whatever it is, a real world asset. And this is the confusing part and I think why they've added the real world asset part to it. Obviously there's more to it than that, but it confuses the normal everyday person. They're like, okay, well, I'll just invest into tokenized RWAs. No, the people holding real world assets that tokenize them will be the true wealthy people. The people that hold tokenized real world assets will not be the wealthy people. The idea is to get into crypto, get out of it, and offboard it into something tangible. And then if you like to play the markets, which I do too, we're traders, obviously. I see your setup in the back, goated. You should see mine, man. It's pretty sick right here. I got all the screens and everything. I got it all going on. But my system is for my trading, right? Because I also have like my real world assets, but that's all separate, right? So what I trade, most of my portfolio is in the stock market, earning dividends. And I have to look into this because I think Trump said the other day, no dividends on defense stocks. Most of what I hold is defense stocks, right? So I might have to get out of that. But, I'll get into something else. Probably, and I think the reason for that is to push precious metals, right? Because I'm looking at copper, I'm looking at silver, I'm looking at palladium. Precious metals is what is on my radar now. Okay. And
commodities is something I invest in, but again, it's part of my portfolio. I diversify my portfolio across a wide spread of things.
Right.
Like commodities as in, metals, oil, sugar, wheat, soybeans, all this kind of stuff. Then I like the stock markets. I'm into like certain AI stocks.
I see a technology collapse coming in the markets.
It's interesting because actually I was reading several different articles about that particular thing recently about Michael Burrell.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's betting against AI and the burst of the AI bubble.
And he's the guy that shorted the market in 2008, right? Yeah. I've been watching that too, bro. Like I'm on it.
Yeah. So yeah, that one's a kind of interesting, but there is like it's a gamble. Everything is a gamble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to. If you're not in it, you won't win it. So you have to have some part of your kind of investment into that aspect of because it could take off as well in the opposite direction, in the good direction. So you just don't know.
I'm okay with missing out on major moves on things.
Yeah.
Because I have security, because I know that it doesn't matter. I have accumulated enough in the market where I only need 2% to do all right. And I'm basically living off the dividends. It pays my bills and everything. I have no debt, right? So I just take the dividends, and I take 1% of my dividends pays for my living for the quarter. And then the rest goes into crypto. I take it and whatever I can get out of that, and then I put it back into the stock market. And it's a revolving cycle,
Yeah, and I do something similar. I have dividends and yields coming from different stock market stocks that I'm invested in, and I have different high yield accounts that I work with, and they all complement each other. One pays the other, and so on. And I'm constantly moving stuff around to kind of I'm not going to say cheat the tax man, but
yeah, I know what you're talking about, bro. Like I have my ways.
The tax man less friendly to me, but that one. Yeah.
You think I spent $15,000 on building this studio for no reason? For I made $15 today. Like,
yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. Yeah. You know the score. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what's crazy is the whole like computer and technology setup and everything that I spent on all this tech here, all new equipment. It's now used and worth double than when I bought it. Cause I literally bought it back in like February, like right when everything was starting to hit. And I was like, oh, I better buy all this and all the building material and everything that I spent, I'd be probably spending 2 to 3 times as much now. So I did pretty well on that investment as well.
I've just noticed that there's somebody on the panel below me. I didn't see it because it's black in the corner. But if you want to,
that's me.
Oh, is that you?
That's
DOW,
me.
Is it?
Yeah,
that's
my other.
Else that was just sitting there, and we were just hogging the mic.
That's my conspiracy show, and it's my other platform. And so this platform has been under attack because of We Speak Truth here, right?
Sure.
So that is my backup profile. So in case something ever happens to this profile, so I leave it up there so that people can follow it. They know where it's at. So make sure you follow it down here, guys. Down the rabbit hole. That's my other channel right there. So make sure you send it a follow. Appreciate you.
I've pressed the plus on it, but I don't think it's allowing me to follow it.
It's like a little plus sign next to the name.
Yeah. I pressed the little plus on it. Okay. But anyway, it's 4 a.m. in Ireland, so I'm going to thank you for having me on, and it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely, man. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I'll rug you, all right?
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, guys, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends, follow me on all platforms at Oz the Crypto Goat. Hit the follow button. Also hit the little alarm bell up here when you follow so you get notified when I go live. Join the Discord link in my bio, and that way you'll get notified when I go live, because TikTok doesn't always do it. And I am bringing back the email alert system. If you want to get alerted to when I post something, or because like I've predicted every major market crash last year. So if you want to get notified when that's going to happen, send me a DM with your email address and I'll add you to the email alert system. So that way when a big move is about to happen, you're going to know it before it happens. And that goes both ways, whether it's up or down, right? But we predicted every major market crash. I predicted the largest crash in crypto history, ladies and gentlemen. And if you had been in the Discord, you would have known. So join the Discord link in my bio and get in the email alert system. We've got like over 100 people on the email alert system. Yes, Third Eye, I predicted the largest crash in crypto history days before it happened. So you would have been able to sell the top, let it crash, and you would have known exactly where to buy the bottom. And for anyone that's a super fan or a subscriber to me here on TikTok, you can message me any time of the day in Discord, and I will do TA for you on any project you like. So also become a super fan. I predicted Zcash a day before it happened. Yes, dude, everyone that takes my TA class is on my level. They see what I see. And it's like a 4-month course, TikTok seller? It's 4 months, 4 classes a month, right? So that's 24 classes total. And so if you're looking to learn technical analysis and be goated at it, because like people are going to teach you all kinds of nonsense out there. I've yet to find anyone that trades my style and is as accurate as I am, because we don't just do technical analysis. We're looking at macroeconomics. We're looking at the big picture of how everything works together. And because we zoom out and we look at the picture that way, we are able to make these major predictions. I literally was able, XRP right here, in January of 2025, I predicted the drop of XRP to 160. Like, and if you don't believe me, in my profile that you're watching right now, you can go back and you can see where I predicted that. I predicted 163 and 130. 130 is the next zone on the way down. We have to hit 130 before we can head up again and get out of this bearish trend. So get ready for the roller coaster, baby. But if you, and not only does my TA teach you that, I can literally predict the day and the time these moves happen. Like that's how on point we are. And TikTok seller can do it too. TikTok seller, please tell them that it works, right? It's literally that good, that accurate. And honestly, I would say TikTok seller in just the last couple months of taking my class, he's just as good as at TA as I am. This is a system that I've developed over a lifetime of trading. It works. That's why we added the wins channel. I know. You know what? I want to add a losses channel. Let's add a losses channel to the Discord. See, let's see what losses people are taking. But it's pretty much wins. I would say the percentage of losses to wins is minuscule to the wins that we're getting. And I mean, we're talking about 200-300% wins in a matter of hours on these coins. And we're throwing them out. And anyone that is in the TA class, we have a private channel for group trading. You want me to? Yeah, if you want to add losses, that'd be cool. I think it'd be fun, right? Let's see who lost the most. Whoever loses the most in trades this year will get like a prize or something, or like I'll turn you into a meme, something like that. We turned Josh into a meme. I made a bet with Josh about XRP, and basically he wouldn't take the bet. So I said, all right, if you don't take the bet, then I'm going to turn you into a meme when I'm right. And I was right. So he got turned into a meme. But yeah, we have a good time in the Discord. So make sure you click the Discord link in our bio. And, you know, learn technical analysis. You know, everything is pre-recorded. Okay. So these are past classes you're going to be watching. And we're, you know, putting new classes together. I have the CEO of ViFi Finance. He's a hedge fund manager. He comes on from time to time and teaches us about macroeconomics and stuff and how to TA as well. So he's partnered with me there, comes on once in a while. So there are new classes that pop up from time to time, but most of it's already pre-recorded and established, and the foundation is there. That's all you need to make money. All the information's there. Take you a couple months, once a week for an hour, to learn quite a bit. And so, you know, take some time to invest into your education. The cost was discounted 50% off. It's back to regular price, but because it is recorded content, the recorded content will be on discount, but you won't be able to get the lifetime membership for free. So everyone that signed up in January and completed the full course gets a lifetime of technical analysis classes for free. Like whatever comes up and that we do, you're going to be able to get into it. And maybe I'll do a lifetime subscription for the rest of it. Come talk to me, okay? I'm here. I'm in the Discord. You can message me directly, but you got to be a super fan here or a subscriber in order to DM me. I don't answer DMs to anyone. Cold storage devices, yeah, I will help you set up cold storage devices. I will help you if you're having trouble. You need like not just technical analysis, but you need like help. I have an IT guy here that works so with all those technicals as well as me. I can help you figure out if you're having problems onboarding, offboarding, any questions like that. If you want to know what exchanges are going to be best for your situation, because everyone's different, right? Everyone's situation is different. So when you are a super fan or you're a subscriber and you're messaging me directly and I get a clear picture of who you are, what you're doing, and what your goals are, then we can help you develop a strategy that works for you. Because any creator on here that's throwing out blanket strategies for people, don't listen to them. Everyone's situation's different. Everyone bought at a different price. Everyone's holding a different amount. Everyone's financial situation is different. You need something that works for where you're at, what level you're at. And I mean, even just FOMO control, right? We have people that literally just message me and they're like, hey, I'm about to just sell at a loss right now. What should I do? And I take a look at it for them and I'm like, hey, this is, what I see. Obviously, not everything's going to be perfect all the time, but the idea is getting control over that FOMO, having a strategy that works and gets you paid, right? Because that's what we want. We want to make money, right? Is XRP going to an all-time high this year? Probably not. Probably not. It could. I'm not saying it can't, but probably not. I would say it's more likely to see $1 than to see $4 right now. Okay? And it's more likely to just kind of run along between $1.50 and $2 than to see $4 or $5. Unfortunately, that's just the fact of the matter. So we shall see. A lot of things change, That's just where I'm at right now. Any person that just says, this is my prediction, what it is, the markets are ever changing. The news is ever changing. The economic situation is ever changing. So what I tell you right now, you can't just take it as that's what the gospel is, because I adapt. I change with the sentiment. But as of right now, this is what I see. So when that changes, I'll let you know, but I'm only going to let people that are in my Discord, that are in my TA class, or their subscribers or their super fans, those are the people that are going to know. Raymond, thank you for the heart me. Appreciate that. If you haven't sent a heart me yet, much appreciated. If you want to send any gifts, but if you want the gift that gives back to you, that's going to be becoming a super fan. That's the way that you're going to add value to. It's basically an investment for yourself, right? It's not just a tip or whatever. You're investing into yourself. You're getting one-on-one coaching with me. All right. You can reach out to me and I will coach you and help you out. Just the tip. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you all for hanging out. I'm going to take a quick break, and then I think we're going to hop on. We're going to play some Call of Duty. That's another thing. Join the Discord link in my bio, and we hang out there. We have phone calls, and we have trading groups. I'll play video games. And you can watch me play Call of Duty while we have like chats, and we literally onboard normies into crypto through gaming. As well as we're having like these deep discussions like we had today in the show. we're doing the same thing. So get in the Discord. The Discord is goated. It is not your average everyday simple Discord. It is set up to be awesome. Can you fly a helicopter? I absolutely can fly a helicopter. Absolutely. I can actually fly an airplane. I have simulation hours on airplane. I want to get my pilot's license, but I can't pass the physical because I do have disabilities. I don't know if you see me, sometimes I'm squirming around like this and I'm like doing like this and that. That's because like I can't sit still for a long time. That's why they won't give me my pilot's license. So I'm trying to get a sports pilot license or get an ultralight so that way I can still fly. So it is in the works. Why do you ask? That's a strange question to ask somebody. Let's see. Let's listen to a cool song. Actually, hold on. Let's do that instead. Battlefield 6 helicopter. Oh, dude. In a game, absolutely I can fly a helicopter. I thought you were talking about in real life. But yeah, I can fly. For sure. There's another game that I've been playing with the TA guy. And I forget what it's called. I just downloaded it and played with it. But it's flying a spaceship. And it literally maneuvers like you're in space. So it's definitely a hard thing to pilot, and I pilot it just fine. Let's see here. Let's watch. Let's see here. Oh, it's in shorts, that's why.
What is real? How do you define real?
Take care, chat. I'll see y'all next time. Join the Discord link in my bio. Follow me. Send a gift. Super chat. Or not super
what is
chat.
real, what is human? This world got me questioning, consuming. Stuck in the matrix, feeling like I'm Truman. So upside down, disconnected from the Schumann. But Morpheus is here now, you ready to go? The red or blue pill, you already know. Down the rabbit hole, we going below. Layers they can't see, I'm going to show you what is real, what is fake. Take it slow. Been doing it for years and now I'm a pro. Fiat the fake, it's a sham, it's a scam. 2.3 trillion, a supply like goddamn. They print and they steal as much as they want. But old Uncle Sam, he just runs a front for the shadiest scheme you've ever seen. Completely worthless, worse than a shit meme. Coin got us all stuck in the system. Crypto the fix, let me give you some wisdom. Bitcoin and Cardano use UTXOs. XRP is a lot of speed, I suppose. Assets that go up, not down overnight, but the system won't die without a big fight. That's why they delay, that's why they keep stalling, but nothing can stop the structure from falling. So let's quietly build.
Hey, thank you for becoming a super fan. Appreciate you.
The matrix is
Raymond, make sure you join the Discord, bro. I got you.
But I'm feeling stuck in the matrix, just trying to make a buck. Sick of working, I ain't gon' slave away. All I'm offering's the truth, yeah, that's what we say. No more lies, no more fake shit. Man, I really can't take it. I know what is real, so please don't mistake it for new cars and new clothes with next level flows. I try to compose this life that we chose. The matrix is everywhere, it's all around us. Even in this room, it must surround us. You can't see it, you feel it, it's in your soul. Breaking the matrix, they losing control. Politicians and judges, they have the role to keep you in line. Yeah, that's the goal. But when you wake up and then you bake up, you must shake up the matrix and break up. You see the code, not Haskell or no, but the system they built, it's gonna explode. You're faster than this, so upgrade your mode. Don't think no, you are ancient knowledge bestowed. Don't listen to media, turn off the TV. Don't watch that fake news, they'll have you believe lie after lie. That's all that they doing to keep you from chasing that dream you're pursuing. Looking for the exit, but I'm feeling stuck in the matrix, just trying to make a buck. Sick of working, I ain't gon' slave away. All I'm offering is the truth, yeah, that's what we say. Only show you the door, you gotta walk through it. I'm scrolling Big D, now he got me confusing. The shape of the earth, no way that we moving. Long distance test, that's how he can prove it. Starting to be like my big homie Wiz. He thinks that his flat and handles his biz. Should sound like the dumbest thing I ever heard. Read a book, check the net, just follow the herd. But Google be playing with your search results. They be gang, I'm sure just a cult. So no matter how many times they insult, we think for ourselves, not a stupid adult. Is it true, IDK? Yeah, I really would've doubted. Check the views on YouTube, they really ain't about it on the news. Blew a fuse, yeah, that's when the dreaded is controlled. No excuse, that's why they freaking the ladder, breaking through, no kung fu. Yeah, I see the matrix falling. Payphone crew, deja vu. With Agent Smith, I'm brawling. So don't give up, say what's up. If you still stuck in the matrix, the end is near. Have no fear, just keep building and lay bricks.
My heart's beating, my hands are shaking.
Little bitch asshole. Go tribe, go tribe. Said I'm a badass bitch and I'm rich. Don't call me a little girl, I ain't switch. Size like it's nothing, you a snitch. Wanna be like me, yeah you wish. Crypto vibes on the track and you know we tryna stack. Bitcoin, Solana, and Ether, some ADA. Bitch, I am the alpha and you are the beta. You think you are great, I promise I'm greater. Just check my trade, check my wallet, the data. You mention me with the girls, that's gossip. And if you talk shit, you know you best watch it. Crypto wives are the best, you know you're not it. Passive aggressive, that beef I'm gonna squash it. Not cause I forgive you, because I am bigger of a person. And yeah, my ass thicker, loyal to my man. You a hoe, you a stripper, so don't miss my words by the throwing no hitter. Now this my last line before we go get dinner. Michelin restaurants, he pay, he a winner. Said I'm a badass bitch and I'm rich. Don't call me a little girl, I ain't switch. Size like it's nothing, you a snitch. Wanna be like me, yeah you wish. Another verse, bout to take another lap. Around you putting Gold Tribe on the map. It's a race, it's a fight, yeah we bout to scrap. But you know I'm clever, so instead lay a trap to help me catch these little girls in the act. Creating fake drama, yeah I know that's a fact. I don't mean to provoke, don't mean to attack, but can't take anymore, boy I gotta react. Or they take advantage of me, try and lie, spread these rumors about me, but they can't see that bullshit sets me free. Girl I decree, you gone, you better flee. Yeah I'm a wife, you know he put a ring on it. Big ass rock, sold NFTs until the profit, headed to the bank. Got more to deposit, Gold Tribe to the moon, yeah we bout to rock it. Said I'm a badass bitch and I'm rich. Don't call me a little girl, I ain't switch. Size like